The arrow.
Ready? Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is the Thursday, February 26th, 2026 meeting of Community Board 12. I am the chair, Clinton Mike, and we are here to get our February meeting started. The time is now 7:07 p.m. Okay, so we're going to have a public gallery session. So do we have anyone from the public wishing to speak to Community Board 12?
Yes, me.
Okay. State your name, please.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Rita Salke, and I was referred by Ms. Dickerson. And I am an executive director at a media arts organization. We provide free media arts programming. I'm a 501c nonprofit, and the name of my nonprofit is Veronica Arts Media. We provide free media arts programming to underserved youth in all of the 5 boroughs, the Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Bronx, town.
Okay.
And
can you hold on 1 minute? Can you hold on 1 minute? There's an echo. I don't know if that can be fixed.
Everybody that's not talking needs to mute themselves. I mute everybody, but you guys keep unmuting. So the only person who should be on mute, who should be is talking, is Miss Salty. So go ahead, Miss Salty. Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to come and introduce myself. Some of the signature programs that we offer are filmmaking, podcasting, and sports journalism. And some of our partnerships and providers include BxCB, New York State Council of the Arts, and New York Cultural Affairs. And I will be presenting more information next week at the Education Committee meeting.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Salke. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have anyone else from the public gallery session from the public that would like to speak?
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Tiara. I've been living in this community for about 20 years now. Left for a little while, came back, and I've been here as an adult for the last 10 years. I'm hearing an echo.
Yes, can everyone mute themselves other than Tiara, please? Thank you.
So I just there was just a couple of issues that I've been noticing about and around the neighborhood. I haven't really been that involved with the community board for a while. I've attended a meeting once or twice in the past, but I've just kind of been noticing a decline in some of the some of the issues in the neighborhood, specifically sanitation. The buildings that have burned down on the ends of 200 and 28th Street, those lots are still down and abandoned in our dumping grounds. Rat infestation. The building on Carpenter to 28th is next to a school. It appears that there's squatters in there. I've noticed also that there's a lot of buildings that have scaffolds up that have been up for years. My building is one of them. There's no progression in some of the work that goes on or is supposed to be going on in the neighborhood I guess it would be under infrastructure, and just also some issues with the Bronx River Park. I've run there for years, and again, just seems to be a decline in the maintenance and the upkeep of the park. I know there's some projects going on at like Shoelace in the Shoelace area, but the park as a whole has kind of been there's been some issues there. So I'm not sure, like, do I, how to properly engage here with that, but I wanted to come in and kind of see how I could participate in making some of those issues known and being vocal about that.
Okay, well, we welcome you. We welcome your input. So you're speaking of the park. You spoke of the buildings, some of the scaffolding. As far as the scaffolding goes, I'm not sure. Maybe George can answer better if we have any jurisdiction over the scaffolding that's up around numerous buildings in the area. As far as the what else did you speak of? Did you say White Plains Road? The cleanliness?
Yeah, overall cleanliness. Even when we have the sanitation trucks come through for alternate, it's like they're just throwing trash around. Specifically, right next to the community board between like 229th between White Plains and I think that's Low Air where the library is.
Right.
It's a dumping ground after the trucks go through, you know, and I've taken video and pictures, and it's just there's no reason for it to be that filthy. So yeah, and to the person in the chat, I mentioned I'm talking about Bronx River Park. There's an area in the park that's called Shoelace or Shoestring Park that they're doing.
Shoelace.
Yeah, Shoelace. Seton Park is another one that is overgrown and just trash, no upkeep there. So I guess that goes into like our green spaces and like where we're able to, you know, be safe and have, you know, clean air and places for our children and for those of us who are active and want to utilize our parks. I did mention the burned down building and the lots, and those are just, I think the fire here on 228th happened in the beginning of 2023. It's 2026 now, and I know those people were displaced, but that building, there appears to be squatters there. Another concern is it's right next to a school. Just because something hasn't happened doesn't mean it won't happen. I don't know about the, you know, danger, the safety issue about, you know, there being children there and people squatting and things like that, you know. So I mean, there's a number of issues that have been, it's like an observable reality, you know, at this point about some of the declines in this immediate area. So
right. Well, you know, there's a lack of enforcement
right
in the district. George, I don't know if you can address any of that she's talking about. What lot you talking about on 228th? Where?
228th and White Plains Road, there was a bike shop that was
the
there
bike
for
shop.
years.
Bike shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
The
not
rat
sure.
infestation is out of control at this point. Like they're coming down, you know, into the blocks and it's residential.
Not to diminish it, but that's a citywide problem in New York City. George, I don't know. We have no jurisdiction over scaffoldings and over the vacant lot where the bike shop was, right?
Have a public gallery session.
No, well, I mean, the bike shop is right down the block from our office. I didn't realize that they had a scaffolding. They don't have a scaffolding. Is there, Wayne? No, there's no scaffolding. Yeah, there's no scaffolding there.
No, not scaffolding, but I guess you're speaking, Tiara, you're speaking about the empty lot.
Yeah, and the rat infestation and that it's becoming like a dumping, you know, there's dumping going on there. So like the rats, you walk by and there's like a family of rats just going in and out. And I'm just saying that happened maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And it seems like there's not really progress or, you know, anything to maintain that space until it's bought, I guess. You know, I don't know the procedure there, but
have you called 301 to register a complaint with the city?
no, I haven't regarding that particular issue, but I've called 311 in the past. They close out your complaint just as soon as they get it almost, you know, they claim to go visit and then next thing you know, you get a notification that it's been closed, even though nothing has been resolved. So, yeah.
The guy who's responsible for pest control in the Bronx lives in our district. He's actually very good. So if you don't make a complaint about rats, then they don't know to go and inspect. So you know, I can make the complaint. I'll make it, you know, after I have some time today. After the meeting, I'll make the complaint. But you know, also you should call it to as many people. Every time you see something with a rat or whatever, just call. I've had board members make complaints about rat populations as well, and we sent the inspectors out, and they, you know, say that summonses are issued. They deal with the property owner to mitigate the situation, and if they don't, then the city takes steps in, and then they issue fines.
Okay. Can you provide the name of the person who you said is very good with that?
I mean, I can, but you're not going to get him. But his name is Robert Champion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, that was my list of things to, bring up. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Tonya, John, you see any hands up? Is there anyone else?
I'm actually scanning right now, Mike.
Right.
I'm looking.
How do I do this? Right. Oh,
yeah.
if you would just like to speak, you can just unmute your mic. If you don't know how to do the emoji with your hand, just unmute your mic and say you would like to speak. Okay. It's Lois, Boyd Prevo. I have a great gift where I lost some vision, but I'm great in other areas of listening. And I really have lived in this area maybe a while. My interests are health, education, and environment. I'm an educator, I'm an artist of a different kind now since I got my great gift. And I'm listening to learn how I can best participate. Thank you. Now I'm going to mute myself.
Thank you,
I can
Lois.
figure it out.
Thank you, Lois.
You got it.
Thank you for
Welcome.
signing on. You sent an email, so thank you for signing on.
Thank you.
Okay. Andrea Daniels, next.
Yes, hi. Good evening, everyone. So I'm here just to see, what do y'all guys do? And I'm very interested in the community. I live in the community. I've been living here about 7 years, but I lived in the Bronx my whole life in general. My daughter, when she was in high school just last year, she used to go to a school in school district 11, but my community board is 12 because I live in Williamsbridge section of the Bronx. So I looked it up and this is my community board. So I did apply, to try to sit on you guys' board and maybe help out with some things in the future that I might be interested in, like housing, public safety, and education in particular, really. But I could do a little bit of everything, really, to be honest. Because I'm real, like, universal. So I just wanted to come here to introduce myself, see what the meeting is about, see what you guys been doing. I'm already familiar with our Bronx Borough president. I just want to see how I could help you guys because I used to volunteer in the school system for about 17 plus years, and I done held every position in the book in the school system. Every position, CPAC, everything. I did a lot of hardcore work on the council, everything. Like I did everything there. But once my daughter graduated, now I'm no longer in the school system, but I am still in the community. So I would like to see how I can help over here. And I'm a team player, and hopefully I meet you guys one day in person, because I'm an in-person person as well, but I also do virtual. And that's it. I don't want to take up too much time. I'll let someone else introduce themselves or we can move forward. Have a good evening, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. We normally meet in person and virtual, but because of the weather and the snow, we're fully virtual this evening. But you can come to the community board meetings at 4101 White Plains Road at 229th Street, and you can come and hang out with us on the fourth Thursday of each month.
Thank you. I will do.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else?
Yes.
Your name?
Yeah, I'm good night, good evening. My name is Fabian Hamilton. So I am the founder and creative director of a company called Pen Excellence. Pen Excellence is a premium creative and educational service company dedicated to empowering individuals, families, and business through education, professional development, and creative excellence. So at Pen Excellence, our work is centered around three pillars. First, workforce development. We help job seekers and professionals strengthen their opportunities through premium resumes, employment documents, and career-focused writing services. Second, education and tutoring. We support students and adult learners through tutoring, academic enrichment, and educational literacy services designed to improve confidence, knowledge, and long-term success. Third, small business and creative support. We provide consulting, brand development, marketing, writing, and communication services to help entrepreneurs and organizations present themselves professionally and grow sustainably. Our goal is not just to provide services, but to build stronger communities by improving literacy, support education, and help residents access professional growth opportunities. So as we grow, as we continue expanding, we look forward to collaborating with community leaders, educators, and local organizations to bring more resources and empowerment to the people we serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Where's your where's your business located?
Okay, so Pen Excellence is an online and e-commerce business. So we have a concierge service. We go to the people. So we are registered in the Bronx. Okay. So but we have an online we do services by online arrangement and appointment. Yes.
Okay, so you can put your information in the chat so we can have it.
So, okay, let me I'll do that. And
Okay.
I had gave Mr. George Santos some flyers earlier when I saw him this evening. I gave him some flyers because I thought it was in person, so I went to the office itself, and he told me it's virtual. So I left some flyers with him there. So you said go to the chat.
Yes, just place the information how we can contact you or anyone here can contact you. Put it in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anyone else?
Yes, hi. Hi, it's Diana Hunt. I just want to say good evening, everyone. And I've seen some of you in person. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. I've met some of you in person, and I have been on visiting with the committee board committee too because of the street cleaning. And I just want to say a big thank you to every one of you for your help. You know who you are. We have alternate site parking on our block now. Of course, I had advocated for the speed bump. Now we have the alternate site parking. So we just have to work with everyone on the block to make sure it's enforced, which is the big proponent of that. So I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone that helped out. And I also, 1812 Shefflin between
Shefflin, yes, I did. Yes. I was wondering if that's what you were talking about because I drove through there. Saw the signs the other day.
Yes, and they came today to put up some additional signs. So we are quite happy. And so I also put in an application to be a part of the board. So hopefully I can join the board at some point. But I want to say a big thank you to everyone that helped us and helped me with the petition to get all this stuff done. So Tiara, I was listening to some of your complaints about what's happening in the, just the decline in as far as the parks and the streets and the street cleaning and the cars and the what do we have across the street? I'm talking to my husband, the squatters. And you have to get everyone on the block to be on the same page. Just put in those 311 calls. We also have a home across from us that is abandoned, and we have squatters living there. And we have over maybe 200 calls to 311, and they do come out and they do take the time to listen to the complaint, and you just have to just run it up the chain. So just keep doing what you're doing. Try to start a block association. I think I called George the other day to ask him if there are any block associations that have started, so I don't reinvent the wheel. But just try to get everyone in your building, people on your residential block, start a petition to get what you need done. So I just want to say a big thank you again to everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you for that. Yes.
Those squatters on 223rd, right?
Yeah, between 223rd and 224th on Shefflin. It's a home. It's a 1815, which is it's winter, so we're just leaving it alone. People need a safe place to be, so we we took a hiatus off of trying to get rid of them, but we understand that people, unhoused people, need some place to be and to be safe. So,
All right. You're welcome. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Public gallery session? Is that it?
Hello.
Yeah, Martinez.
This is Don Siblis. Can you hear me?
Don?
Yes.
Hello, Don.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm gonna put in the application for the community board, but I'm still interested in the traffic. I mean, I'm not gonna deal with traffic because we have snow on the streets, but I hope that in the future maybe we can have a little bit more traffic people, maybe around intersections around 233rd. Seems like a lot of times our buses, they block the streets, or just traffic in general. They block the intersection so that they're not staying in the crosswalk, and it's making it hard to cross the street as a pedestrian or even as a driver. Maybe we need better enforcement as well as the parking situations that we've discussed in the past.
We definitely need more enforcement, and we requested it. So hopefully sometime soon we'll get it.
Okay. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, Don.
Okay.
Good luck on your application.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right, Clinton, you have one more person, Daniel.
Okay.
Um,
Daniel?
Hello, good evening. Hi, everyone. My name's Daniel Martinez. I am a sophomore at Baruch College, majoring in economics and political science. I did want to hop on today because I live in the community and this happens to be my community board. I'm also 19 years old, so I want to be a voice for the young people in my community and what we can do surrounding mental health and different access and equity, stuff like that. A lot of my work surrounds mental health. I believe in high school, I actually founded a wellness room, so that was a really cool experience I got to do. Yeah, so I'm just here for the youth in the chat and whoever to advocate on behalf of that. So yeah, it's nice meeting everyone.
You too, Daniel. Thank you. Keep advocating for the youth.
I also met Etanya actually at Albany's caucus this past weekend, or I think last week actually. That was really nice. So it's nice seeing you, Etanya.
Right. All right, it's no problem. My name's pronounced Etonia or Etonia.
Etonia,
It's
my
either
bad.
or. It's okay. It's okay. My mama prefers everybody to call me Etonia, but for just time's sake, just everybody call me E. And Daniel, it was a pleasure meeting you and your friends as well. I hope that you get also the ability to apply. I'm so happy to see everybody on here that wants to apply to be a part of the board. Yes, come to the meetings, but yes, also be a part of the board because we do make direct decisions in our community. So Daniel, welcome, and everybody else welcome as well. And please drop your information in the chat. If you are here for the first time, please put your information in the chat so we can keep you in touch with everything that's going on with CV12.
Did Daniel apply?
I did apply. Well, I'm in the process of applying, so hopefully everything goes well. So yeah.
They extended the application, so you should get your application in, Daniel. And anyone else that is interested in being on the board. Okay. So that's it for the public gallery. No other hands?
Hello. LJ.
Good,
LJ
yeah,
has a hand.
that's me. Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Lillian Smalls, and I've lived in this community. Some of you know my name, some of you don't. I've lived in the community over 50 years, so I know the community very well. I've seen so much changes happening. I have applied before for the board to be on the board, and that was years ago, but it was, they said they had too many people, and that's fine. So I would probably try again because I'll have a little bit more time on my hands. I also have a little complaint, and I just need a question answered. I had to complain about the streets. I live on 228, which is the most narrowest block in the Bronx. And, I had to complain because they did not clean the snow. Cars were slipping and sliding all over the place. They need to really focus on 228th Street because now that they have the traffic light here, everything goes down to the Bronx River. So you have plenty of cars coming through this block. My second complaint is, again, because we are a narrow block, people like to park on my sidewalk. I've talked to people and they get very irate when I ask nicely. It's not my problem that you buy a big car or vehicle. I have a big vehicle and I don't park on my own sidewalk. I've been very nice. I've put in complaints with the police department to ticket them because they are on my sidewalk. And it is not a public sidewalk because when anything happens, I have to pay for it. I have to fix my sidewalk. So what can I do in that sense? Because I've put in 2 complaints and they said they didn't see anything wrong, but the person is still on my sidewalk. I have pictures and I have complaint numbers. What do I do in this aspect? Because it's very annoying. And, if my sidewalk breaks up, nobody's fixing it but me. What can I do in that nature?
You want me to take it?
Yeah, sure, Josh.
So you actually raised a really interesting thing. I made a complaint to DOT because I agree with you. It drives me insane that you have vehicles parked. Yours is not the only block, actually, that have parks on the sidewalk. But the solution from DOT is to actually no park the whole side of the street. The reason they do that is that the width of the street is not enough for the length of the emergency vehicles. So the only way to accommodate the emergency vehicles or sanitation trucks or ambulances and all those other sorts of things, they would have to no park one side of the street. I don't have an objection to it, but I will say that you mentioned that people get irate when you confront them about parking on the sidewalk. People are very passionate about parking up here. And we do have a lack of enforcement. I will follow up with the precinct, but I will also suggest, if you have not already, to go to the next precinct council meeting. And I'll back you up on that because it is a problem. And like I said, yours is not the only block. We have narrow streets. Woodlawn is notoriously narrow, but they still manage to not park on the sidewalks. So, I'm willing to work with you on a solution because I agree with you that the problem I have with the parking on the street is that it creates an obstruction for anybody who's handicapped or, somebody pushing a carriage or anything like that. People are then forced to walk into the street in order to get around these obstructions, and that creates chaos. I don't like it when the precinct does it over on 229th Street in Laconia. I complain about that all the time. You know, it is a nasty habit that, our enforcement officials, i.e. the NYPD, look away from because it's very unpopular. It'll make them unpopular, but, it's something that has to happen. We've been railing for several years now on White Plains Road because people still angle park. They still don't know how to park. I was coming to the meeting this evening. I'm in the office, and there were people triple parked. So even the buses couldn't get through. And it's insane. And this is White Plains Road. This is a busy corridor. Right. So I completely.
And the redesign is terrible.
Yeah. And I will say, I agree with you too. When it snowed on Monday, we were virtual. We worked from home. Tuesday, I came in and I made complaints that the streets in our neck of the woods were not necessarily plowed well. But I will say that I did see pickup trucks. Like sanitation said, they're not sending the big trucks; they're sending like pickup trucks with what do you call those? The plows on them.
The plow.
And I did. Yeah, I did see them. To be fair to sanitation, I did see them on the streets. I did see them plowing streets. But I will say that there were a number of streets, 229th Street, your street, 228th Street, 227th Street, that looked like they were never touched.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
213, 14.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of traffic through 228th Street because everybody goes to the Bronx River. And, you know, I had to argue with two people out there, you know, because I didn't want them to hit my car. And then they park where they want to park and they park on your property. And I have a problem with that because if anything happens, I have to pay for it. You know, years ago, they used to, they was giving out tickets for just being on the curb just a little bit. And I had to complain about that. And they said, oh, we're now enforcing it. So now I come to complain and you're not enforcing it. So I don't get it. Is it a law? Is it not a law? What's going on? You enforce it, or, you know, how does this work?
Hey, it's still a law. It's just a lack of enforcement.
Yeah, can everybody hear me?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, well, hold on. We actually, I don't want to shout them out. We have they're here if they want to talk.
Deputy Inspector Ashraf is here.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hi, good evening.
Welcome, Deputy.
Deputy Inspector NYPD.
Yes.
I'm the CEO of
47. Let him talk, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I listened to your problem about the parking. Could you tell me exactly what's the cross street of between White Plains and Carpenter, you said?
I'm between White Plains and Barnes.
White Plains and Barnes. Okay. Uh, I will start to do enforcement. I have a lot of FTU officers deployed over there on 228 between White Plains and Barnes. So we'll start to do enforcement. So I listened to George's points as well. Obviously, White Plains Road has a lot of issues with traffic, double parking, triple parking. Uh, George mentioned this to me about a couple of months ago. Since then, I have requested a lot of traffic agents, and they come on a regular basis. With NYPD, we have done numerous operations where on a weekly basis, we've issued over 1,000 summonses. But this is something that obviously on White Plains Road, it requires a consistent, always. We cannot just do it for 1 week and then they go about their way. And precinct is very, very busy, and we do our regular duties. So this is something that we need on consistent basis, where we need to have a whole traffic team designated on White Plains Road corridor always, because this is a problem from I see Burke Avenue all the way up to 241, which is a 3.5 mile strip. So, I'm in conversations with my counterpart in traffic. Obviously, because of the snow, it is very difficult for people to find parking, and that's why we're a little bit lenient on enforcement part of it. When it comes to people double parking, and we're very considerate on that factor. But once this snow clears up, I would say in next few days the weather's going to hit 50, 60s. A lot of snow is going to melt. We'll pick that back up, and we'll have a lot of agents. But no one, regardless, no one should be parking on the sidewalk. I totally agree with that fact. And then once my field training officers today, a lot of them are not there. We have a precinct event. Starting tomorrow, we'll start to do enforcement over there if anybody's parked over there. But like George told you before, generate 311 calls anytime you see that. That's how we see it. Once it comes to 311, we'll definitely do enforcement.
Now, the thing is, I did the 311 twice, and they said they didn't see a problem. And that's why I'm complaining, because I went through 311. I have the complaint number and everything and pictures, and they still came and said that they didn't see anything wrong. And I'm like, the work is on my side.
If you can send us the pictures, or if you have George's contact, if you can
I
send
do.
him pictures and the 311 complaint, and he'll forward it to me, and I'll review to see what happened.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deputy Inspector. Deputy Inspector Ashraf, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of this in the neighborhood. A lot of people park their cars or their numerous cars in driveways and block the sidewalks. What is what can we do about that? I mean, do we call the precinct about stuff like that? Because sometimes there's people coming by in wheelchairs, strollers, like George said, and they can't get by on the sidewalk because these people have 2 and 3 cars in their driveway and they're blocking the sidewalk.
Yeah, so no one should be blocking the sidewalk. If there's a sidewalk, ramp, one of those things is blocked, obviously always call 311. Uh, or you can call the precinct. You can call the precinct landline and say, "This is a sidewalk is being blocked at this address. I need someone to come here and enforce this." So on the daytime, every day, in the 4-7 precinct, we have a pilot program where if you would call 311 during the daytime from 9 to 5, you will have a traffic agent come there expeditiously. For all the traffic related 311 calls, NYPD traffic will send someone very quickly. So from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, they work on the daytime. If it's any other days or any other hours beyond those hours, then NYPD police officers will come and they'll handle those 311 jobs. But you have to remember, a lot of times when you call 311, 311 in our priority order is not the highest priority. So sometimes it can take us hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to get to some of these jobs because we have a lot of priority jobs going on. So if you do call 311, by the time we get there, if the car is moved already or the condition that you're calling us about is fixed already, then obviously we're not going to do enforcement by summons or that kind. But uh, I would still encourage reporting via 311 because that's how we collect our data. That's how we know where chronic issues are, and that's how we deploy our resources. So if there is something chronic going on in the neighborhood, you see always same driveway, same house, I would encourage call 311, even if on that same day or next day there's no enforcement done. And I know if you're observing it or your neighbor's observing it, or you see from your camera that the ticket wasn't issued because the car moved before the police arrived. Uh, that's how when I do my analysis, I see, okay, this house is calling 311 40 times in a week. Why is that? And then I'll deploy some resources there and we'll do some proactive enforcement measures.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
I just
Mr.
wanted to
Mack,
add.
Mr. Mack, can I ask the inspector something, please?
Go ahead, Carl.
Okay, Deputy Inspector, we have recently stop signs have been put up on Webster Avenue at 235th Street. I would say 4 out of 10 cars do not stop at that stop sign. They blow the stop sign. And the ones that normally stop give a rolling stop. One of these days, somebody's going to get killed there. I've asked for enforcement there a couple of times. I have not seen any enforcement there. And since the traffic division cannot issue summonses for running stop signs, it's only PD that can do that. I would ask that you pay some attention to it. 235th Street in Webster. And the second location is the entrance to the Bronx River Parkway between 233rd and 234th. There's a red arrow that tells people they can't make the turn. And the people who are obeying it are so other cars go around them onto the parkway through the red arrow. I almost got hit there twice. My wife almost got hit there. They have no concern about the people. And that's basically early in the morning when everybody's going to work at the turn onto the Bronx River Parkway South. It's a sad case that nobody obeys the stop sign and the red arrow. If any help you can give us in Woodlawn would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. I know you have mentioned the exact same issue previously, and I don't know if you noticed that starting 2 weeks ago now, every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm putting it out to everybody to know this, every Tuesday and Thursday, we are doing checkpoints simultaneously, 2 checkpoints. One is at on Webster Avenue, right at the entrance of the Bronx River Parkway. And the second one is on 233rd, all the way by the 87 entrance. So we have been doing those checkpoints every Tuesday, every Thursday. And obviously, number one goal that we want to achieve is we're getting crushed in the precinct with stolen cars, where residents are their cars are being stolen. So grand larcenies of autos, we almost have 100 for the year to date. And the corridors, a lot of cars that are being stolen that they're using is jumping on Bronx River Parkway from right there or going up to 87 and going that way. So I developed this plan where every Tuesday and Thursday, and then some odd days too, but Tuesday, Thursday, those are fixed days I'm doing. But I'm also picking some random other days where I have more manpower. But we are doing a lot of checkpoints over there, so you'll see. But most of the checkpoints that we're doing are in the evening hours. So in the morning hours, I'll put that on my traffic team's radar, and we'll do some stop sign enforcement over there. But we are paying attention to 235 after that corridor.
I thank you very much, Deputy. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
May I have the opportunity to speak?
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna just add to what with the 311 calls. I just want to tell everybody the app is better than the call. I've done 311 because, of course, I have problem with people parking in my driveway as well as my sidewalk. And 311 has come out and ticketed people. Sometimes
Okay.
the car is on, but 311, the app is really a good resource.
Okay,
Just
we got you, LJ. We have to move on to the next person. Thank you. Patricia
Okay.
McDowell.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. I don't know if this is something that you can address directly, but I live on Edson Avenue between Hammersley and Burke, and which is what's happening on that street is that the commercial trucks are coming through our block. They're not using the alternate route, which is supposed to be New England Thruway. They're using our street as a truck route. And our community, between Hammersley and Burke, our infrastructure cannot take those 16 wheelers coming through our neighborhood. I've spoken with our council member Kevin Riley about this, and I know signage has been put up. However, the trucks continue to come through our neighborhood. Is there anything where they can be enforced or I don't know if tickets can be issued? Can the mobile apps, like for example Google Streets or things like that, can that be adjusted for these truckers who are using their apps to come through the neighborhood and they're being redirected to Edson Avenue between Hammersley and Burke?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm not sure about the truck route. I have to do some research to see. Usually there are designated truck routes. So
It
I
is
would.
the designated truck route is from Baychester Avenue coming down into New England Thruway, which is parallel to the New England Thruway. But
Okay,
instead of taking that
I'll
route,
review that. I'll see. Honestly, I'm not sure what the designated corridor over there is, but I'll review that and I'll see what it is. If the trucks are not supposed to be on Edson, then I'll put it on the radar for my traffic team.
thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Hey, can I follow up on that too? I have a big problem with that on my block on Barnes and 242nd. We have tractor trailers come through there all the time as well. It actually just hit my father's car for the third time. So they have to. It's like I go out there and I try to help back them all the way back down to Baychester, but they come through Barnes and 241st constantly, and that's a huge. It's always been a problem in the neighborhood.
And the signage is there indicating what the truck routes, but they are ignoring that and coming through the regular neighborhoods. And like I said before, the infrastructure cannot handle that.
Yeah, I know that's a recurring problem on a couple of different blocks in the district.
Can I,
Who's that?
Chucky? Can I say something, Mike?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just to the inspector, and I'm retired. I'm listening to all these complaints, especially about the trucks and people parking on people's property, because I have the same problem. I wanted to answer the lady who said If the property is damaged, you do have to pay. I did that. I did that about 9 years ago. I went to court because somebody was unloading in front of my house and they dented the street, and I got a summons, and I was like perplexed about it. But when I went to court, they told me I had to pay. I had to pay about $4,000 to get it fixed. So I try not to let anybody unload. But it seems that there's nothing we can do about it. But what I want to say to the inspector about the trucks, because I have that coming through my block too. What if we took pictures of the truck with the license plates, and the date and the time? Would that help? Would you guys be able to do something with that?
Carlton, you should know that for us to enforce any moving violation, the officer has to observe that violation. That's the New York State law. So if you take a picture and we're trying to enforce a moving violation, then unfortunately we would not be able to enforce it just based on a picture. Based on a picture, we can enforce a lot of traffic-related rules. If you, for example, parked in a residential street, which there are a lot of them in this district, and then you register your complaint either via 311 or calling community board or calling the precinct, and we will take appropriate action on that. But when you tell me that trucks are driving through certain streets and they're not supposed to be driving through those streets, then the plan that I have to put in place is we would have to do some enforcement, and then enforcement works. We would have to study what hours these trucks are going there predominantly, and those are the hours I'll deploy police officers. I cannot have police officers on every single block 24/7. So it is going to be, yes, we'll do enforcement at 241 as a gentleman mentioned, or on Edson Avenue as a young lady mentioned, or whatever your block is where you mentioned. But once we move on from those blocks and another truck comes by, we all demand perfection, but unfortunately, another truck is gonna come back by if the route, the trucking world that they have in their GPS. So she gave a perfect suggestion that this should be adjusted in Google Maps or the mapping app these trucking guys use, so that they don't come through these streets. But I will analyze my trucking routes in the district to see what streets trucks are not supposed to be going on and what is their route that they're supposed to be taking. And once we do some enforcement, my hope is that the word will spread to the truck drivers driving through the district that there are enforcement being done, and we hope that after doing some enforcement, it will kind of like slow down the trend. So that's where we are. You could take a picture of someone who's parked on your street, and please call 311. Like I said, that's how we collect our data. That's how we do our enforcement. But when it comes to doing enforcement of VTL violations on moving vehicles, we can only do that when officers observe that. We cannot do it based on a photograph.
Okay.
I just want to ask one question. Can traffic cameras be put there? Would that solve the problem? Because I know the reason why they're coming down Edson Avenue, because if there's traffic, they come off the New England Thruway, and it appears as though we are the service road, but we're not.
Yep. So traffic cameras definitely will solve a problem in a way if they drive fast. So I think they enforce the speeding rules. So if they drive fast, they'll get summonses and so on and so forth. So they can solve one part of the problem. It will slow them down. Now, as far as enforcing, I'm not sure if there are such cameras that are enforcing trucking zones through traffic cameras. George might know better. He's in this business a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, the inspector is absolutely right. The only thing I will add to that maybe throws a wrinkle in this is that even though there are truck routes, trucks are allowed on local streets if they are making deliveries. So, on Edson, maybe not so much unless they're going to the storage on the corner of Bartow and Edson, but they are allowed on local streets.
These are 16 wheels just flying through the block.
Yeah, same here. They can't get past the 2 train. so they turn on Barnes to try to. They know they can't go under the overpass where the train is too low, so they come down my block like 4 blocks into mine, and then they're trying to make a left because Mount Vernon is straight, and they can't get through that block. So there needs to be some signage. There's no signage down there on 241st or Barnes telling them not to come up that block.
I can make your
Yeah, so
246 Barnes, right?
Yeah, I'm on the corner of 242nd and Barnes. However, they're coming up Barnes from East 241st Street, and that's why they're like 4 blocks in before they realize that they're like stuck and can't turn because people park illegally at the ends of the street, which makes it even harder for them to turn, and that's why they're hitting cars in the process. I had to go chase him down and jump in front of the truck to stop him from leaving the scene when he hit my father's car the last time. This was like 3 weeks ago.
don't stop. Don't be jumping in front of no trucks now.
Yo, I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it, bro.
Don't jump in front of the truck, please.
I made him get out the truck and everything. I'm like, get out now. Turn it off.
Yeah. You gotta find a better way. That's not it. Okay. Thank you, Deputy Inspector, for being here. Appreciate that. That's it for Community Speaks. Is that everyone?
Yeah, I don't see any more hands.
I just had a question. I just have one more question. I'll make it short. Is this all right? I pulled up the community board district fiscal plan, and when I look at District 11, I mean it's for a lot of districts, but there's each row that says adopted budget response. There's no information there, so it looks like there's a budget for this particular area of $300,000. I don't know what happens with $300,000, but there's no information in the actual fiscal plan. There's no response listed, and it says reach out to the agencies, but why isn't there information in the actual document when you pull it up so we can see what's actually being funded in the immediate area?
You're referring to the requests we made?
It says fiscal year 2026 adopted budget register.
Okay.
I don't know if those are just requests. I'm just saying there's no response for all of these priority tracking codes, right? There's project information, there's requests, there's explanations.
Okay.
There's no.
You're talking about requests that we make for capital and expense. And
Okay.
the response is supposed to come from the agency. So when you say that the agency says, speak to or follow up with so-and-so, that's their response. Many of these requests are capital requests or expense requests, and sometimes the agencies will say, speak to your elected official, for example, because there is no support for that particular request. But it can be anything. If there's a specific one, you mentioned a $300,000 one, I can address that directly, but you can feel free to call me or email me, and I'll try to address it there.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so that should be it for Community Speaks.
Next I saw a hand. Hold on. I thought I saw a hand before for Luke.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that, the citizen enforcement kind of thing, like Inspector said, for a lot of violations, it doesn't qualify, but there are some. There's this air quality truck enforcement thing that you can do. If you see a truck idling, it's called the Citizen Air Quality Enforcement Program. And it's like a city law that allows citizens to take videos of trucks idling unnecessarily and creating an air quality issue, and they will get a summons, and if your complaint is successful, you'll get a portion of that. And that represents a really interesting way of enforcement, where instead of relying on a 3-1 complaint to trigger in a New York City response, the citizens are able to do that. So if there's any legislative ideas that we have, I'm sure the council member is interested in hearing how can we take this into our own hands you know, in a safe way, to do this ourselves. And then I also just want to mention, like, for some, like the Edson, those 2 blocks, I know they put speed bumps there, but there's always, maybe there's, you know, if we wanted to suggest like a conversion to, so that they can't just make that shortcut, you know, like maybe 1 block is twisted the other way, so it's, I don't know, there are things you can do through design besides, you know, signage that could address some of that.
Thank you, Lou. Okay, so next on our agenda is election of our recording secretary. We have a vacancy in the recording secretary, and we need to fill that. John, you want to move on this?
Yes, sir. I can move on it. We need nominations. Is there any nomination for recording secretary, guys? Any nominations?
Tolene has her hand raised.
Hi, Tolene. I acknowledge Tolene.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. I'm glad
Good evening.
everybody's safe. Good to see y'all. I'd like to nominate Jaslyn.
Jaslyn Farmer.
Yes, Jasmine Farmer. Yes.
Is there any other nominations from the floor?
Seeing none, hearing none.
I'd
like to nominate.
Okay, go ahead. Somebody was making a nomination. Oh,
It seems like they were trying to call
Yeah,
in.
so I'm sorry, guys. My apologies. I was in the middle of class trying to. My name is Solomon. What about it?
This is just for the board members. If you want to.
My apologies, sir.
okay. So is Jaslyn on?
I am on.
Jaslyn, do you accept?
I accept.
Beautiful. Do we have any objections? There being none?
Second that.
All right, great. So,
Second fucking.
congrats.
Stop fucking playing with me.
What, yo?
Fucking cute. Don't fucking.
Hey, mute yourself.
All right. So to confirm, we had a motion to fill our vacant role for recording secretary. Ms. Tolene Dickerson put forward Jasmine. Jasmine accepted. Who was the person that seconded the motion?
Jaslyn L.
Jaslyn. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
All right. So Jaslyn has accepted. Who seconded?
Need a second.
All right, Clinton. All right.
I'll second
No,
it.
no, I didn't second it.
I'm Karen. I'll second it.
I
Karen
don't.
Skinner.
Mike,
Okay.
do we really need a second? You just need a nomination, I think.
Because
Paul?
No, you need a second. You need a second to make it legal.
Okay. Okay. All right.
All right.
You know what?
Then we're
I'll
good.
second it if
Karen
nobody
Skinner
wants to second
seconded.
Yeah, it was second.
It was Karen Skinner Parks. It was seconded.
Yes. Yes.
Just one.
Yeah, I'll second it. This is Robert Hall. I'll second
See,
it.
I've
Robert
I've
Hall.
already seconded. It's already been
Already
seconded.
done.
So,
so
all in favor?
Aye.
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 So
Aye.
motion
Okay.
carries.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Woohoo.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And good luck.
Yes. And take good notes.
All right now.
All right, Mike. We have our elected officials.
Yes. Do we have any elected officials or the representatives online?
Yes, sir. Kelly Saunders, Congressman George Latimer's office.
Hello, Kelly. You may speak.
Hello. I'm gonna come off mute, but it's really dark where I am because I'm also a mom and I'm momming, waiting for my kids to come out. So I apologize. But thank you for bearing with me. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kelly Saunders, representing Congressman George Latimer, New York 16. Our office is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and we're located in the Dreiser Community Center. Our office is 177 Dreiser Loop, room 3. So for those of you who know Co-op City, it's the Dreiser Community Center. It's upstairs. So basically right above H&R Block. If you're familiar with the area, and I know it's tax time, so you probably are familiar with H&R Block. Our office assists with any issues relating to a federal agency. This includes, but not limited to, the IRS, immigration, passports, Social Security. So unfortunately, we can't help you with the truck parking, but we can help you with veteran affairs. We also provide free notary services for all constituents of New York 16's congressional districts. Our office also conducts mobile office hours throughout New York 16. So if you have any ideas on where we can come to do some of those mobile office hours, please feel free to reach out. The number is 718-530-7888. I also wanted to let everyone know that the Congressional Art Challenge is now going on. It's actually called the Congressional Art Competition. And basically, you can go to latimer.house.gov, and your teenagers who happen to attend high school within New York 16's congressional district can register their artwork to take part in that competition. Winners will receive free flight to Washington, D.C. Their artwork will be put in the congressional hallways as well as on our website and the Congressional Art Challenge website. The deadline for that is April 10th. So please keep that in mind, April 10th at 5 p.m. If it's 5:01, unfortunately, I can't help you, but 5 p.m. is that deadline. With that being said, we'll be reaching out to schools within, again, the New York 16, and we'll also supply some flyers to the 47th Precinct Community Council so that they can distribute those flyers as well. But you're also able to reach out to our office for more information. Again, my name is Kelly Saunders, and my email is Kelly, Kelly, because I know there's 12 different ways to spell my name, Kelly.Saunders, Saunders, at mail.house.gov. And again, that number is 718-530-7888. Thank you so much and have an excellent rest of your night.
Thank you, Kelly. I know you're momming. Is there any way you can put that in the chat?
I sure can.
Thank you. I saw the Congress member on Sunday. Do we have any more elected officials or the representatives?
Hey, what's up, Glenn?
This is Andy. Oh, hi, Andy. How you doing?
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
Oh, my camera's a little up too high. Hi, everybody. My name is Andy Twisfields. I am Councilmember Riley's constituent liaison. For those that do not know me or are not familiar with their council member, our office is located on 9940 East Gun Hill Road, and we also have an office in Co-op City, 135 Einstein Loop. Our number is 718-684-5509, and I'm just going to go over legislation for our office. So recently in the last SATA that we had, Councilman Riley reintroduced Intro 404. Councilman Riley has been trying to fight for this bill since the last session. This bill requires clarity among city agencies on what civil infrastructure they are responsible for. This recent snow kind of pretty much brought out that initiative where it's really important for understanding as to like those specific areas where there's traffic triangles, pedestrian islands, step streets, and basically, when people try to figure out who does that belong to, there's always that bureaucratic red tape where you trying to find out who's responsible for what say plot of land. So that kind of this bill kind of emphasizes the need to kind of be as clear as possible who owns what and who's responsible for it. So for budget, we're going into participatory budgeting, which is between March 29th and April 6th. Unfortunately, discretionary funding has the applications for discretionary funding has closed, but we are now focusing on participatory budgeting, which, as you know, is $1 million budget with what you can do in the Council District 12. I believe it's Council District 12 or Committee Board 12. No, excuse me, it's for Council District 12. If you have any ideas or want to see any of the initiatives that are being presented, you can always go on www.linktr.ee/Riley budget. And then going into our events that we're having for the month of February and after, we're having a monthly community conversation that we unfortunately have to postpone. It'll be for March 14th. It's going to be regarding education and family services. That's Thursday, March 14th at 6 p.m. It's going to be at the MS 113 Richard R. Green. That's 3710 Barnes Avenue, Bronx, New York, 10467. We're having our bi-weekly food distribution at the YMCA. We're having it at March 5th and March 19th. It's going to be every Thursday. It's going to be at the Northeast Bronx YMCA at 10:30. And again, the address is 1250 East 229th Street, Bronx, New York, 10466. First come, first serve. Of course, please bring a bag or in the shopping cart. And then lastly, there's a Bronx River Assembly happening March 5th from 3 to 5 at the New York Botanical Garden, which is 2950 Southern Boulevard, Bronx, New York, 10458. And RSVP is required, so please visit bronxriver.org. And just reminding those that are of our constituent services, which is our in-office services, we're having free tax prep every first week of February to the second week of April. Wednesdays are out of our co-op office, and Fridays are out of our Gun Hill office. And as a reminder, for those tax services, you as an individual you have to make under 68K, and as a family with dependents you have to make under 79K. And we also have New York State unclaimed funds, and we also have veteran services with a veteran advocacy project, usually on every fourth Thursday outside of a post 1871. And that's it for me.
Randy, you know, as well, put your information in the chat.
I got you. No problem.
Bianca from the Borough President's Office.
Hi, good evening,
Hi,
Community
Bianca.
Board
How are
12.
you?
How are you guys? I'm fine, thank you. I saw you in passing today.
Yes.
You didn't see me.
I didn't see you. You must have saw me. I didn't see
Saw you. Yes. So Community Board 12, I'm very excited to hear all the people who are applying for the board. And I did notice that Community Board 12 is one of the boards with, more applications. So that's really good. And it's a testament to, what all the good things you have. We have, because I'm a member of Community Board 12 as well,
That's what I heard.
going on in the district. But I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that the deadline for the application has been extended until March 1st. And there are people who have not reapplied. I mean, that's always a choice if you don't want to get back on the board. But if you do want to be reconsidered and you are up for 2026, your board term is up this year, you need to reapply to be able to be reconsidered or reappointed to the board. If you're not sure about your term year, you can, of course, contact your board office, or you can call us at Borough Hall, and we can let you know if you're not sure. And the only other thing I'd like to mention is that we have a homeowners resource fair coming up on Wednesday, March 4th at Borough Hall from 11 to 2. That's in the Rotunda. So join us for an opportunity to connect with housing-related resources and professionals, including mortgage lenders, legal advisors, housing counselors, and financial experts, to equip participants with the tools, the knowledge, and the confidence to pursue and sustain home ownership. So if that's something you're interested in as well, that's March the 4th, and that's it for me.
Thank you, Bianca. You can put your information in the chat as well. Thank you.
Okay.
Anna Cohen, Assemblyman Member Dinowitz.
Hi, my name is Anna Cohen. I'm here representing Assembly Member Jeffrey Dinowitz. We have an office in Kingsbridge located at 3107 Kingsbridge Ave. We have a free notary service available. You do not need to be a constituent as long as you show up with a valid ID. We have free notary service for anyone. We will also have a free paper shredding event at some point in May in Woodlawn. We have not announced the date yet, but I will make sure to update everyone when we have it. And you don't need to be a constituent of our district as well. You just show up with your paper that needs to be shredded, and we'll get it right in the truck for you. We also have Know Your Rights cards in our office for anyone who stops by, because we know that ICE is out and scaring a lot of people. So it's good information to have if you come by the office. Again, we are located 3107 Kingsbridge Ave, and our phone number is 718-796-5345. And I'll put the information in the chat. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Anna. Is that it for the elected officials? Anyone else?
Yes, Renell from Senator Bailey's office.
Oh, sorry, Renell. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we have our Black History month panel that's tomorrow from 3 to 5 p.m. It's a financial empowerment. So I can add the bit.ly link in the chat if anyone's interested, and they could share that information, especially with the young youth. With the youth. We also have our food pantry, which is every fourth Wednesday. So we had it yesterday. If you know of anyone that's in need of food, please share it with someone. We don't want the food to go to waste, and we want to have a reason for a food pantry to come and continue to provide food for our office. So if you know anyone that's in need of food, tell them every fourth Wednesday at our office at 959 East 233rd Street at 1 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Renell.
You're welcome.
Is that it? Sonia, John, you see anybody else? Is that it? Is that it?
Nope, I believe that's it. If you do have your hand still raised, please lower it so we don't confuse it for the next segment, okay? Thanks, everybody.
Okay, so next on our agenda is the approval of the minutes for January.
Could I got a motion from the floor to approve the minutes?
I know everybody's speaking.
Denise Echeverria, make a motion to approve.
Robert
Hall,
second.
Robert Hall,
Second, Robert
moved.
Hall.
It's been properly moved and second. Mike, how you want to do? You want to do a roll call, or do we have the information to do a roll call, or?
I don't have it.
Okay, so we can just all in.
I have the
all
roll
in
call
favor.
if you want to do it.
You have the roll call?
Yeah, do it your way, John. No, do it your way, John. It's good.
Go ahead, John.
All in favor? All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Ariel is sustaining.
Ariel is abstaining.
I am. Judith Benitez abstaining.
Judith Benitez abstains. Any more abstentions?
Any nays?
Motion.
Any nays?
Any objection?
Any nays?
Wait, can I get an edit? It says that I'm the chair of Committee 2. I'm one of 3 co-chairs of Committee 2.
Okay, so could we amend the motion where it's,
Yeah, I
all
think it can be a
necessary
friendly
corrections?
amendment. I just want to know if we can make that tweak to the minutes. Yeah, we don't have to redo the vote or anything.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Bang.
Thank you, John.
You got it.
Next up, item number 5 is the district manager's report. George?
Hey, for the sake of brevity, and I was actually hoping that Andy would speak about this. Is Andy still on the call from Councilman Riley's office?
Yes, I am.
Do you want me to mention 3240 Grace?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, you want to go ahead or you? I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we spoke about it, so I want to
No, yeah, I got you.
mention Andy because he called me yesterday. For all of you who don't know, we have a board member, Patricia Boswell, who lives on the block, notified me at the precinct council meeting last week that that she saw workers at 3240 Grace. For all of you who might remember, this site has been in DHS's crosshairs for more than a decade now. They've tried to open it in the de Blasio administration. They had another conversation during the Adams administration. And now that we have the Mondani administration, they tried to open it again. So Patricia first alerted me to this, like I said, at the precinct council meeting last Wednesday. I saw Jamal Yap, Councilmember Riley's office there. We walked over to him. We had a conversation about it. And that got the ball rolling. I did speak to DHS. It confirmed that the site was active and that they were looking to open it in May. We had borough board with our chair. That was Monday. Yeah, Monday. So the borough president was at that meeting. I made mention of it because basically, and this is the point that I want to make to our elected officials who are on the call right now. The point that I made to the borough president was that once again, DHS was looking at this site. And like I said, two previous administrations, the third one now, was looking at this site to turn it into a shelter. I don't know who this landlord is or, who he knows in the administration, but he seems to raise his hand every time, there's a call for shelters. And he seems willing to wait. Like I said, he's been waiting now for more than a decade to try and open the site instead of pursuing other avenues for rental income or whatever. So I impressed upon him that during the Adams administration, they had a social service provider already picked out. If you remember, it was Black Vets Social Justice, and they were supposed to move a 200-bed men's shelter into that site. We were able to beat that back as a community. We met at the YMCA with our elected officials, and they were able to fight and negotiate with the Adams administration. And they looked at other spots. As a matter of fact, they relocated that 3240 Gray site to 4551 Furman Avenue. So that's where now. That's a different elected official. That's the Dinowitz's neck of the woods, but that's where they relocated. It's still Community Board 12 though. So even though they moved it from 3240 Grace, they moved it to another part of our district. And the point that I made to the borough president, the point that I made to Andy yesterday, and the point that I'm making to everybody now at the community board level is that they cannot run the same argument that, oh, we have a social service provider in line for this site, and then relocate them into another location in the district, because that is the conversation that I had with DHS. DHS was trying to play games. They were like, oh, we're trying to open up sites. We believe this, this mayor, this is his prerogative. He wants to open up as many shelters as possible because he's trying to deal with the homeless population. And I understand that. But again, we already went down this road with not just 3240 Grace, but 2101 Needham Avenue, which then turned into a shelter. We went down this road with Bronx Boulevard. I'm forgetting the address. That was a shelter that was open because of COVID. They closed it and then they opened it up again.
Migrants.
Yeah, for the migrants. And we keep making the case. I've been here for 10 years. When I first got here, there was 4 shelters. They closed 2 of them. 2101 Needham Avenue was one of those shelter sites. 222nd Street was the other site that they closed. That's behind 3240 Grace Avenue. That place has since reopened as a hotel. motel, whatever. 2101 is going to open up as a women's shelter, even though it did open up initially as a men's shelter, despite DHS telling us that it was going to be a women's shelter. So we had to correct that. And now we have, my last count was 16, because what DHS has done now is that they're converting all what they call the HERC sites. The HERC sites were the migrant shelters. So we had a couple of migrant shelters, the Friendly Hotel on East Gun Hill Road, the El Ranchero Hotel on White Plains Road. This location was never a HERC site, but those other sites, the hotels, were not suitable. So now they're looking for permanent locations to place all of these individuals. And we're trying to tell them that these, like the sites in the Bronx, are off limits. And that's the point that I was making to the borough president, because DHS no longer lets us see how many shelters there are. During the de Blasio administration, we could see through the Turning the Tide. Back then, the Bronx had 160 shelters. That was 30 more than the next highest borough, and that was Brooklyn at 130 shelters. And so God only knows how many shelters they have now, because they don't keep track of it anymore. They're not required to. So we don't know how many shelters, but there are a lot more people in the homeless shelter system than we had back during the de Blasio administration. So we have to be vigilant. So I do appreciate, and I want to shout out Patricia Boswell for pointing this out to us and sort of raising the alarm and speaking about it at the precinct council level. I know Patricia's on here. If she wants to speak, that's great. But we heard that it was dead. It's not moving forward, but we have to remain vigilant. Like I said, I don't know who this landlord knows or who this property owner knows, because every time we get a new administration, he seems eager to run to the administration and sign a contract with DHS. So we have to remain vigilant. So if you are aware of any of these type of sites that are happening, and this is despite the fact too, DHS is opening these type of shelters, but they're also opening permanent sites that they call housing. We just had one on Carpenter Avenue, right across the street from the hospital, that they turned into a woman with children shelter. But it's not called a shelter because it's permanent housing. But it's still a shelter because DHS pays for it all. So we've had a number of those type of sites as well. We don't have numbers on those as well because they don't provide them, because they consider them permanent housing, even though they're DHS run. So that's my spiel. I want to thank the
So
council
my
members.
question to George is that it's still on, you're saying it's on hold, but why are they trying not to convert it to something that's meaningful?
I asked that to DHS. I spoke with Chris Gonzalez at DHS. He's a special projects manager, works directly for the commissioner. And I said, listen, whatever happens, can we set up a meeting with the community board and this property owner and maybe the elected officials? And I said this to the elected officials. I spoke to all of them directly, and I was like, whatever happens, we have to find something else for this site. Maybe a senior center or something else that, is not a shelter, and get the site programmed so that, this doesn't happen again. Because like I said, whoever this guy is, he thinks it's far more lucrative for him to sign a contract with DHS than to rent it to anybody else.
Yeah. I
Okay.
in conversation with the, her concern is that this shelter won't pop up somewhere else in the Bronx, or somewhere else in this community, but that remains to be seen.
I mean, I could try to speak to that. There's no certainty that a shelter won't be, like, for example, because the shelter on Grace Avenue, that right now is not postponed. They're not doing it now. Whether or not they'll find a different location around the district or Community Board 12, that unfortunately is something that's unknown. Now, if that's something that gets put into our, like, general like eyesight, and it's something that's made aware to our office, we'll definitely make any type of like movements to at least alert the community board and at least try to work collaboratively, because that's kind of how we were made aware of it, because a lot of people were making concerns about seeing movement on that property, and they were and it was homeowners were making those concerns and complaints to our office, and they were also making it to the other offices as well, like Carl Hasey's office, and also Assembly member Senator Jamal Bailey's office. And that's kind of how we kind of they in their individual capacity and their official capacity decided to inquire about it, and that's kind of how we got here. So if that comes to fruition later on, where DHS is seen choosing a different location in the area, I would just say, like George is saying, be vigilant about it, and at least don't be complacent in making those complaints or reports. Please forward it to at least our office or any other office that would be like generally be able to address it.
Thank you, Andy. Okay.
So I have a question. This is Deborah Torado. So the buildings, so if they're under DHS and some of them are owned by private owners, we still don't know that some of them we don't know the buildings that are shelters, correct? Like there's a couple of buildings that's being built. The owners said they do not have to report to the community board because it's on their property and they're in their zoning rights. And so I do notice that the people that they're moving in, they from under shelter, but you just said they're permanent shelter housing. Is that under DHS?
So my understanding, the one that they opened up on Carpenter Avenue wasn't listed as a shelter. I don't know if you recall that it's a brand new building that was opened up right across the street from Wakefield Hospital. It used to be a parking lot. And the building is owned by Mark Stagg. Mark Stagg is notoriously known, especially in our district, to build these buildings. And then because he's not getting the rent roll that he wants, he'll contract with a non-for-profit and give it to DHS. That's what happened on Tilden.
Okay.
So, we have examples in our district where property owners, I guess they're not getting the rent rolls or they're not getting the demand that they are expecting. And because there is such a need, DHS is taking these buildings offline. It is a rather weird thing because we talk about housing and creating affordable housing. So most of these housing is built to be affordable. And then yet DHS is yanking them from our district, and they're taking it for themselves to open them up as shelters. Now, I'm not splitting the hairs, but I'm not, like when I had this conversation with the borough president's office at borough board, they were like, "Oh, we need to create more permanent housing," and that's what DHS is doing. So, again, I feel like that's splitting hairs. If DHS is paying for the site and paying the rent for everybody that lives in that building, it is a shelter, whether it's a permanent shelter or not, because when that person expires or moves on or moves out of the shelter, they're not replacing it. It's not going on the housing lottery. It's not, George Torres can't move there tomorrow because I got selected to move there. It's going to go to another formerly homeless or to somebody who's homeless. It'll always be a homeless shelter and only used by DHS, whether it's permanent or transitional. So that is the decision I make.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Deborah.
So on Gun Hill Road, between Paulden and Laconia, those two new buildings, I would like to say they are DHS, because when he opens up the first building, all those tenants move in at one time. It's not listed under Connect because he said he didn't have to come to the community board to put his housing there. That's one. That's a shelter, a permanent housing or shelter, I would like to say maybe it's under DHS. And so the next building should be finished very soon. I see the employees, they be sneaking in at night. You don't see them all day, but at night they sneak in. So it makes me assume that that's what it would be also, another shelter housing, permanent
And
housing.
to your point, Deborah, they don't notify us either.
Well, that's sad.
And what about the one that's right there next to the funeral home?
Oh
It's
yeah.
half and half.
Well, that's a
It is.
shelter. It's
Yeah, that's
a
a shelter. That's been a shelter.
Yeah, that's been a shelter. And so you don't know some of these buildings. I mean, what is being housed in some of these housing? It's just like the one on 213 in Laconia. I mean, never any problems, but everyone moved in there at one time. They said, "Oh no, that's a resident." I said, I beg to differ a little bit, but it's just sad we don't know what's in our community, what's coming in, and they do not have to come to the community board if they're in their zone rights in there to build what they want to build.
Well,
How do we change
let me
that?
ask this.
Yeah, do
Hold on.
we change that
Well,
policy?
unfortunately, by the time we find out about it, the deal has already been brokered.
Yeah, but
You
what I
know,
want to,
that's what I find, that when we come to these meetings, by the time we find the information, the deal has already been broken. Just like the building right next door to Luke's building, the shelter that they threw in there after the private sanitation company moved out. That I don't know if it's 829 Tilden Street, one between Tilden 2
Yeah, that came
and
out of
that
nowhere.
building. You know, that shelter came in. It's a done deal by the time, privately owned, private companies can sell their property to whoever they want.
And they pay top dollar.
George, did the city of Yes actually make it easier for them to build?
No, and let me just clear this up too. These properties are being built as of right. They have a right to build them. And so, like to the point that Deborah was making before, we've had properties, buildings that are built, they're advertised on Housing Connect briefly, and then they're yanked off of Housing Connect because they made a deal with DHS to take 90 apartments out of the 100. So, that's different. That doesn't make the city of Yes had nothing to do with that, had no bearing on that. The problem that we have is that, we have an affordability crisis here. You have landlords that are building housing, and then you have DHS that is taking that housing wholesale and just turning them into shelters. And again, it's a little duplicitous in my mind that, you're building housing, but it doesn't count to our housing stock because again,
Shelters.
I can never live there. No, you and I can never live there unless you're homeless. And so the idea of how do you change that? It has to be legislation. But I will say that it's difficult because when I've had these conversations with elected officials, that's precisely what they want. They want permanent housing.
but
Affordable. They
let
want
me
affordable
ask.
housing.
Let me ask
But
something. I have my hand up for a little bit, but
Go ahead,
since
Jackie.
we don't know, the board, right? Because no one has to tell us anything. I'd like to know what is the borough president doing about the? Don't they have to let her know what's coming in her borough? And shouldn't she be notifying us to help her fight to prevent this? Because is the Bronx going to become the homeless capital of the United States or what?
Well, there was an interesting article. If you listen to the governor's office, I think the gentleman's name is Blake Washington. I'll share it with the board. He is concerned because we are spending DHS's budget and DSS's budget have exploded since COVID. And so, Chucky, your concern is very well placed. Like, we cannot continue to afford to do this because it is a drain. Agencies that were in the hundreds of millions are now billion-dollar agencies because we're underwriting so many of these things, and it hasn't slowed down the request for housing. Remember, New York City is the only city or the only county, well, the only city, which is 5 counties in the state of New York that is mandated to provide housing for people who are homeless. If you get homeless in Yonkers, they don't have to find housing for you. If you're homeless in New York, we have to find housing for you. So it's as simple as that. And how do you change that? I don't know. But there is no requirement. Again, I'm trying to make the distinction. Building housing, you don't need to notify anybody. Opening up the shelter, we do get notified. The problem is that DHS is taking housing that's built for anybody, and they're just taking it. They're taking the whole building. That happened on Holland and Gun Hill Road, right on the corner. There was a shelter. The only reason we found out that it was a shelter was because there was a fire in the building, and when they reported on it, that's how we found out. And I said, "Oh my goodness, we didn't know."
Exactly.
3177 White Plains Road was the first one that happened. That happened in the Cuomo administration. The only reason we knew that was a shelter was because people started complaining about bed bugs. That was when bed bugs was a really big thing, and it was in the newspaper, and they were like, "Oh, this is a shelter. It's run by Praxis." And I was like, "Well, wait a minute. Nobody notified us that that was a shelter because technically it's not a shelter. DHS will never categorize it as a shelter because it's permanent housing." Same thing with Holland Avenue. Holland Avenue is permanent housing. DHS does not consider that a shelter. And the only the only thing that I will say in regards to that is it's just sneaky. We have 16 shelters that we are aware of, and then we have those type of buildings that we're not aware of. So, we only find out, to everybody's point, after the fact. Something happens at the building or somebody makes a complaint. Tenants from the building will come to the community board and make a complaint. And when we delve into it, we'll be like, "Oh, wait a minute, you're a shelter, So that's how we find out because,
George,
we can have another conversation about that offline. But go ahead.
All right, but George, with the board members here right now, all of us here, I think we need to call a meeting with all of our elected officials and have them in front of us, because it seems crazy that
Agreed.
that none of them know what's going on. And I've been to plenty of meetings where they said they are notified when shelters or anything is coming into the district. So we need to have a meeting with the borough president and all the elected officials. And we should have the community there also. But that's what this board needs to do.
Well, we did have one, and this is a perfect segue to say that we should start planning our next legislative breakfast with our elected officials. We had one last year. It was mostly focused on like infrastructure stuff, but we can focus it on this stuff.
I
And
agree
I
because
don't
it
really
almost
believe.
seems like they need to come through the board to let us know that it's going to be a shelter, but we don't have a
But they don't have
we
to, so
don't
they're
have
not.
a choice
They
on
don't have to,
making
so
it a
they're not going to
shelter.
do it. They don't have to, so they're not going to do it. Yeah,
So
because
why does it even come through?
they know that we don't want to hear that. So
Clinton,
yes.
when they were putting the shelter down at the old milk plant down by down on
Imperial on
233rd Street,
Yeah.
the commissioner of DHS was on,
Yes.
and she told me that when they come to us, it's just for informational purposes. They don't have to tell us anything. That's what she said.
They don't.
And I'm in other communities, they have to tell the other communities, stop them from putting shelters in there. When in our community, they just come and do whatever they want to
Brett,
do.
so I think just a quick one. So are we looking at other communities and what's happening there, and have facts on that? Then we ask for these meetings and then present that case. We're not the underdogs. We can't be the only ones that don't have a say in their community when it comes to, and of course I'm I'm a big advocate for ensuring that people have, housing, but it needs to be done with some level of appropriate intervention from the community board.
It needs to
And
be
John,
shared.
John,
It needs to be
you
shared
said
among
you
everyone.
it's just you said this commissioner. Is she still a commissioner now, or is there a new one?
I have no idea, but she told me, I told her, you bring in all these shelters up here and you're not giving us any more resources. We need more hospitals. You should see the buses
Exactly.
and the trains and stuff.
School
It's like a
seats,
zoo out there.
medical,
So
mental health
then we need to,
departments.
so then if we
Like,
can't get any information, I think from our elected officials to
There's
be
a
involved. I
shelter
think as a
there's a
community
shelter
board,
that came
we
the other
need to
day.
start
Hold
stepping
on,
up
John. Hold on, John.
on what we are involved in.
Yeah.
and you mentioned you mentioned that other communities boards are doing things to prevent it. We need to find out what they're doing so we can do it. But like I said, we need to bring every elected official right to a meeting, right, along with the community, and let them tell us in front of the community that they do not know anything that's coming in to their districts. I guarantee you none of them will say that they don't know. As far as them not wanting to tell us, we're going to make them tell us. All right, because I will take the lead on it.
Right. So then we'll
We've tried that already. Even the other day, no one said anything. They just put a shelter in Boston Road. I'm actually working on that with DDC. These guys just putting the one, and they said, "Oh, we're by the 5 train. We got there's a pharmacy up the street. We made arrangements with the hospital. When I go to the hospital, I could barely get seen at the hospital."
Okay. All right, John, do you remember this? And I know Torres remembers this. It might have been, I don't know, it might have been 10, 15 years ago, where I almost went at it physically with Councilman Cohen at the meeting. All right, when I said to him, right, I'm tired of the shelters coming in Wakefield. Why don't we put the next 5 on K Park Avenue? And I know George remember that because at the time, Cohen approached me physically and we almost got into a physical altercation with George getting between us. All right, now that was then almost 10 or 15 years ago. All right, I'm telling you, and I'm telling everybody. After that, I spoke with Cohen, Dinowitz, and the rest of them. They do know what's coming into the area, and it's up to them to come to the board meeting and tell us. And I will say that in front of them and let them tell us otherwise, because this is all BS, man. That's why at one time I never wanted to get on the board because it's like a tiger with no teeth. You know what I'm saying? And then we have to take this back to the people in the community that entrusted us to act on their behalf. Let the elected officials tell us and the community that they are not aware of anything coming into our community. Let them tell us.
so what we're gonna do then, we're gonna work on trying to schedule another legislative breakfast for maybe when it gets warmer, April, May.
It
Because
don't have to be a breakfast because a breakfast everybody is smiling. You know what I'm saying? Or happy.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's
could
no
just
joke.
we can
And
just
Exactly.
they
do a
canceled
Mm-hmm.
meeting.
too many
Let's
times.
let's
So I
just
mean, if
call
we
a
end in
meeting.
June,
I'm in my
Hold
canoe.
on.
I
Let's call a meeting in the next month or so. All right, right now. We don't have to wait 3 or 4 months. No, let's do this now. What's wrong with next month? We can
Yeah,
do
Well,
our
this
the
next
elected
month.
last
officials
time
answer to us.
it was sponsored by Ricky Torres the last time. So what happened the last time we had, the legislative breakfast, because we have to get all their schedules together.
right.
I mean, just to be real, just to be real, realistic, to get everything together. So it's like it'd be great if someone else would sponsor it besides Ricky Torres, but he was the one that volunteered the last time. But yeah, we need to get them together because even though They say they don't have to tell us what's going on. Isn't there some kind of legislation or some kind of rule about more than our share? Because there was something about more than our share. As a community, we have more than our share. You look at Staten Island, you look at some of these other areas, and I remember Kevin Riley um, giving us a list at one point of how many shelters were in each borough. So we had a lot, and there was a lot. And besides that, there's still, I'm going down 138th Street along the Bruckner. Did you know we have a prison coming up in the Bronx?
Yeah.
Another prison. So, there's a lot of stuff going on in our borough that we get a lot of shaking and yes, man, we get all the positive stuff, but nobody's telling us, the
And,
things that are going to be going on that are affecting the people that actually live there.
and elections. We got elections coming up. Let's hold them accountable.
That's it.
We got
We
elections
got to
coming
get
up.
we got to get people to vote.
Yeah,
Well,
that too.
well,
That part.
let's bring them. Let's bring them to the board.
All right, so we're gonna work on that. If you're not speaking, can you please mute? A lot of background noise.
Oh, she gave me that thing.
George.
Little thing I told you about. This that thing clean better than the other
Hello,
thing.
Samantha Richardson. Okay. So next on our agenda is committee reports. Is that where we're at? That conversation came from the district manager's report or the committee reports? We didn't do the committee
No,
report.
correct. No, correct, Clinton. That was all because of the beginning of district manager's report.
Okay. All right. So George, is your report finished, George? Okay. All right. So it's time for committee reports. Do we have committee reports?
Yeah, Committee 1 has a report.
Thank you, Paul. Let's hear it.
We had the meeting 2 Mondays ago. Unfortunately, no committee members except Robert Hall, who was chair of housing, showed up. We have one person, member of the board, who I called, and he was on a virtual at that time. That was Robert Link. So we really couldn't handle business, but we did interview the construction of the water main and other entities on 233rd Street between Bronxwood and I believe it's Seton Avenue. That's going to go in, which is going to have a major impact on the community. They made their presentation because I thought it would be rude to have them come out to a committee meeting where they could not make their presentation. I asked for a few things. I asked that they provide 12-foot lanes instead of 11-foot lanes, 1 lane in each direction while they're working, because of the heavy volume of trucks and buses that use 233rd Street. They said they only could provide 11. I'm asking for 12 because if we don't get the 12-foot lanes, we're going to have vehicles hitting mirrors, large vehicles hitting mirrors. One thing I didn't address, but when they're going through the intersection of Baychester, Granada, and 233rd Street, we definitely need TCAs there to control the traffic. And I don't.
What is that? What is that? You need what?
TCA, traffic control agent.
Oh, okay.
We definitely need TCAs at that location to control the traffic while they're working in an intersection. We also should have a TCA at Laconia Avenue and 233rd Street because of the movement of the buses on and off 233rd Street into Laconia and back. That's the BX31. I asked, they told us that they're going to move along about 200 feet at a time, which is about a block's length. But when they do that, on my private or my previous construction knowledge, is that they probably take half of the previous block and half of the following block. So it's more like 400 feet while they work, and the intersections will be closed. And I picked up a couple of other intersections, which is Edenwald Avenue off 233rd Street, very busy intersection. You need somebody to control traffic there. It depends where they put the lane, where they're going to lay the piping. Now, when they lay, it's a large water main they're putting in, but they may have to relocate some sewage and gas lines, which means they may have to open the street more than once because the gas has to go down, then the sewer, and the water main is the last one to go in. That has to be the top lane. So, unfortunately, we had nobody there to take a vote. It was only on the recommendations I made.
Yeah.
And
another thing, Carl, that you did is EPA is going to monitor this very closely. So Effie
yes,
will
I got
be there. All right.
Yeah. But thank you for reminding me that, Bob, since you're the only one that was.
Yeah.
But the one thing I asked for, now they have a liaison. They're supposed to, work with the community on what's going on. I told them I want that liaison to meet with the chair, the district manager once a week to go over what they're planning to do, so he can relate it to the board. Because I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be a real tough project, and it's going to have a major, major impact on the community. And DDC, in their wisdom, is trying to do the right thing. I don't want to bash DDC because they have to get the work done. The contractor that has this job has 4 locations, I believe, in the city. Another one in the Bronx and one in Brooklyn. I think he has one in Manhattan. I'm not sure, and I don't care about the other locations. I care about Community Board 12. And we have to, I told them I want the liaison once a week to come to the board, but also they should have a meeting at the field office. We got to find out where they're going to have their field office with all the agencies involved that is impacted, including a community board rep should be at this meeting, plus transit and other interested parties, so they know what's going on and they agree. Years ago, when they were going to do a project like this, they would invite the community board to 3030 Thompson Avenue to sit down and go over the plans and how they're going to do it, and take the community board's recommendation and include them in the plans. They don't do that anymore. Nobody from the community board ever gets invited to when they're planning these big construction jobs. We're fortunate with having a good woman who looks out for the Bronx. I forget her name, Robert.
Well, I just want to say you maximize the idea of getting transparency back to the entire board with regards to the liaison. Okay? So that was essential. That was essential. And that's what was done.
And so I couldn't take a vote because there was nobody there to vote. There was not one member of the community board there, with the exception of Robert Link, who I called, and he told me he never heard about it. So, but how I knew about the meeting, I called and Ursula told me, yes, you have a meeting tonight. So I came, and in comes Robert, and we were the only 2 sitting there. We interviewed the contractor, uh, EPA, DDC, and I believe the liaison was there. I don't recall, but
Yes,
we
he was. He
definitely put
was.
we definitely put the rules down we want to see followed. But we have nothing behind those rules we put down because nobody was there. And tonight we're meeting
I'm so
virtually.
sorry, just to interrupt. For the last time, because George already went over this, there was an issue with the email, and a lot of people, including
Yeah,
myself,
yeah,
did not
yeah.
get
I'm
the
not
email.
blaming anybody.
No,
It's
I
I know
okay.
you're not.
don't need to, no,
I'm
no,
just
no, 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 no,
letting
no,
that
no,
be
no.
clear.
Okay.
I'm not blaming anybody. I
No,
just said
right.
nobody knew about the meeting. But committee one meets the same week every month at the same time. That should have been automatic for people from committee one to attend. And the only reason I honored the people that came to speak was because they took time out from their jobs to come and talk. So we
Okay.
listened to what they had to say. Now I'm telling you what we asked them to do. I'm not
All
asking
right,
for a
Paul.
vote, but I'd rather do it next month when we get to meet in person again,
Call.
so I can give you a better outlook of what's happening, because it's not going to start tomorrow, but it's not going to start too far down the future. Probably, I figured maybe May or June when it gets warm, we may say it happens. So we do have a month or two to play with this and get, and so we can prepare, George can prepare a letter to
Have
the
a meeting with Paul.
agency, DDC, telling them exactly what we want to see in the street
Okay.
to protect our community. Believe me, I spent 32 years on these projects as a traffic engineer for New York City Transit, so I know what kind of impact they can have.
Okay. So there's no,
But
we're not able to
Call.
vote on it. We're not able to
Mike,
vote.
Mike, I can ask a quick question. Number one,
I have my hand
we
raised.
don't need to vote on anything. This was just for informational purposes.
Right.
That's
They
correct.
presented to us.
yeah,
They presented to us a couple of months ago. So, and I actually
yeah.
presented this to the board. So that we don't need to. And back then it wasn't a vote, and right now it's not a vote. They don't need to vote.
The point is, my good friend, and I respect you because you know what you're doing. All right. I have a lot of respect for you, my friend. But I want to make sure that they know what the board wants done when they do this job.
Which
You
was,
know,
yeah,
I don't
which
want
was,
them.
Okay.
which
Denise
was
Echeverry
what,
has that.
yeah. But I
That,
just want to say that was why Paul increased the transparency, because the board is going to have a lot of questions as we go forward, and those questions will be answered by the liaison. So I want to thank Carl for that. Okay. But you're absolutely right. There was no specifics with regards to what had to be done. So everything is pretty much in order. I'd like to take this to another level to discuss Boston Secor houses. And I want to thank all those who participated and gave those who needed immediate assistance. We were told last week that,
Okay. Robert, hold on 1 minute though, because
yeah,
Denise had a hand up about the previous, about,
okay,
so then we can get to Boston Secor. Denise?
yeah, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Denise Echeverria. I want to thank Carl for, I want to thank you for being there and being able to address the problem and ask all the right questions. And on the same note, the emails for the committee, and I complained the last time around, have been confusing. So many mistakes with the emails about these committee meetings. And no, it does not meet every month, okay? And not the same time. So please don't say that. We need to clear this up. I've complained before that there's been 2 emails, and I addressed it directly to George, 2 emails that were confusing about the committee meetings. Then you send another one out. Then sometimes the committee email is sent the date of, and it's becoming a problem. And I think that's one of the problems that's contributing to low attendance at these committee meetings. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say, we meet the same Monday it's the second Monday of the month. We meet every month. And the only time we don't meet is when transportation, housing, or land use has no issues. And the issues were there this week. We had 3 issues on the board. We only dealt with the construction. There was 2 other issues on it, which
Okay, I don't
uh,
have a crystal ball, and I don't
We,
know if there's an issue, if there's a meeting, because like if you have just said out of your own mouth that there's been times where we didn't have one because there were no problems to address. Okay,
right,
I
exactly.
just think we need to, okay, so it's not the fault of the committee members
right.
or board members. We need to clear up communications. It has to be clarification, be clear on when we're having our meetings.
Right.
The back and forth with the emails, no, my and I understand human error, but now it's happening 2-3 times a month for the last couple of months.
Well, not to belabor this, but that's why we're going to name the committees, because
Yeah.
everybody's getting confused with committee 1, 2, and 3. So that's why we're going to name the committees. Now, okay, now
That
Robert,
sounds great.
let's hear about Boston Secor. You have information
Yeah.
on it?
Okay. I just want to say, I want to thank those who contributed to the Boston Secor circumstances. Speaker Hasty is he mentioned Saturday at the breakfast that he was going to try to give the residents in that building $2,000. There's still a lot of chaos, a lot of questions regarding concern. There's a lot of traumatization amongst the residents. Some do not want to ever go back into that building again. There's a lot of structural work that has to be done on certain facades regarding the building. So DOB and the present, I'm going to say owners, okay, are working that out as the time comes along.
What's their name? West something?
Yes. Boy, it escapes me because they're notorious.
Their name
They
is
have
Wavecrest.
Wavecrest.
Wavecrest is not built for this type of catastrophe. All right. And they are acquiring a lot of NYCHA properties, and all hell is raising loose. They want to blame Wavecrest for the death of this individual. So that being said, there's a lot of things falling on Wavecrest. All right, but the New York City Housing Authority has now differentiated anyone who is in the PAC program and is being acquired by a non-for-profit. They cannot come back into the New York City Housing Authority developments. Okay? That is why they were not able to provide housing, and they had the Red Cross put them in hotels. Okay? NYCHA has a lot of vacant apartments.
So Robert, just a quick one, because I have some direct contact with what's happening. The NYCHA does have tons of housing, that is true. They also serve and leave it open for residents that they can reconvert back to NYCHA if residents have concern about their management. I think as a community board, I agree with you that we need to have some discussion with our elected officials about what's happening there.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. NYCHA, when they do away, they just want to be the persons who own the land and nothing else. And I call that man's inhumanity to mankind. It really is. However, that's where things stand as we speak. I will stay on top of it to keep you informed. But right now, that's where we stand. Okay.
Robert, can I reach out to you? My firm actually did the design for the
Yeah,
conversion
absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
George can give you all my intel. Okay.
Okay.
No problem. All right. And I want to thank you. And I want to thank you, Carl, for increasing that transparency so that we can overcome what Ms. Echeverria has mentioned and get more people involved. But yet and still, a project of this magnitude, everybody needs and wants to be on board. So that is why that increased transparency was very important. All right. So I got to thank you for that, Carl.
Okay, thank you, Bob. I have one more thing
Okay.
that George brought to my attention last month. In November, we took a vote approving the extension of the variance for the gas station at 233rd and Webster. We took a vote, but what happened when we took the vote, we were one person shy of the 24 people we needed. We had 23. So the vote was not official. I would like to retake that vote tonight so we can make it official. If
Well,
that's all right with the chair.
yeah, that sounds great. I'm just having a problem with my video and I can't get on. But by all means, go forward.
You look real great anyhow, Bob.
A vote
Yeah.
for what? I'm sorry, it got cut off. A vote for what exactly? Can you repeat that, please?
What it is approval of an extension of a variance for the gas station located at the corner of 233rd Street and Webster Avenue.
Okay.
We did approve it, but we were one vote shy for a quorum. So we have to retake the vote. So I would like to do that. I'd like somebody to make the motion and somebody to second so we can take a vote on it.
I would like to make the motion.
I second.
Okay, so
Clinton, you're muted.
Is they properly moved and seconded? All in favor?
No, wait, hold on. Do we need to take a roll call vote for this? George?
We good.
We should check to make sure everyone that votes on video.
Do you have a quorum?
Yes.
Then you can do it.
Well, a lot of you are not on video.
you can take a general vote on it if we have a quorum.
Yeah, but everyone's camera has to be on, all the board members. And they're not.
All right, so have everybody turn their camera on.
Yeah,
you won't see my camera because I don't have
yeah,
one.
this is Robert Hall. That's the problem I have right now, but it should not affect the ebb and flow because you have more than enough.
Well, that's why I think we should take a roll call vote, because if their camera's not on, then the motion's not going to pass.
I agree. We should just double check just to make sure that it's,
right,
legit.
Okay, take a roll call vote.
Can all board members?
We're going to have to redo it next month.
Okay, hold on, Carl. Can all board members please turn their cameras on so we can take this vote?
Can we just count how many people's cameras are on?
You can count.
Well, if we go down the line of the people that's on the chat, we could just see whether or not they have cameras on or not.
I see 24 so far.
24
That's what we need, 24.
But if they keep turning them off.
I still see cameras off.
Yes, it was 24, but they keep turning
So
them
we
off.
have to take the roll call vote. If the camera's not on, then the motion's not gonna, we don't have the quorum.
Benga had on his camera before. Benga, are you still there?
Yes, yeah, I'm still here. I'm just having issues with my camera. I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, we got
All right.
25.
I'll log in from my phone. It's much easier.
We have 25, Clinton.
Okay, so take the roll call vote.
Who's gonna call a roll call?
George, do it.
Okay, Benga is on. I could see his face, so we could up it by one.
George, you have to.
You want me? Go?
George,
You want me to go by the parties? You want me to go by the participants on the side?
Hold on. What you say? You're gonna go by the chat? I mean the participants?
No, it doesn't show
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna go by the participants and come down the side and see if that works.
No, it doesn't show it. I just checked.
Yeah, it doesn't show it, but I could call the names. I think.
Yep, 28 now.
George, let George,
Yeah,
if you
I
have
think
the sheet
I
in
agree
front
with
of
everyone. I think it would be much easier if George did it because he has the list of all the standing members within CB12. So anyone that's absent, we can also take account for that as well.
Good call.
Okay, George is having a problem unmuting himself. He's gonna try to log in from his phone. What's next? We can come back to this.
Guys, we actually need to see we need to see your face also.
Hello?
Please.
Yes. I have the attendance from the minutes from last month.
So
with
you want
everybody's name on it. Do you want me to read
George
it?
do it, Tolene. Let George do it if he can.
He has it?
hold on. He's trying to unmute himself.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
If we have too much trouble, we can wait the next month. Another 30 days, ain't gonna hurt.
Oh, my internet just went out.
Wait.
Guys, for the sake of time, I mean, we could do it for next month. I mean, another month
I would.
is not gonna hurt. It's already
That's
9/6.
exactly right.
It's already 9. It's already
Actually,
9:20
it's
at night.
28 days. We'll be meeting the same night, the same date next month.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to old business.
Sorry for the delay, guys.
So, old business. Status of pending letters of support and resolutions. The reports and the resolution, the letters of support and the resolutions were signed by me yesterday. So they will be going out. Is everybody clear?
Sorry, it broke up. Can you repeat that?
So the status of the letters of support and the resolutions were signed by me yesterday, and they will be going out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Would it be possible to send the committee chairs just a copy for the committee's records?
Okay, George can probably handle that for you.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right. Do we have any more old business? Anybody? Okay. Hearing none. So item number 8 on our agenda, new business. We have creation of a bylaws committee. Tonya, would you like to speak?
Sure.
We have
The
an
person that just joined us with the phone number that ends with a 57, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. You're causing a back feed. Like a very bad feedback issue.
That one is muted. That one is 57 is muted.
All right, sports fans. Y'all still
right,
in this? Y'all good?
Yep.
All right. So what we discussed at the executive board meeting was the need to rename our committees. Because yes, everyone is very much confused. The general public is confused about what the committees actually entail. So that's the first part of our meeting. But another thing that got brought to our attention, and Luke pointed this out. So real quick, Luke, yes, we did get in touch with the Bronx Borough President's Office regarding parliamentary training. This was an initiative that a lot of people put forward. A lot of people are brand new to the community board. Everyone here is a working professional. Not everyone here has been on a board before or an advising board, so they don't necessarily know how to do motions, what needs to be seconded, all that rudimentary stuff. So we did put in a formal request with the community, excuse me, with the Borough President's Office to get us parliamentary training. So because that's something that can't happen necessarily board by board, they're going to be doing it for all community board members soon. So that is in the works. So be on the lookout for that. But
Right.
in the
Can I
midst
just say
of
something about that? Can I just say something
sorry,
about
go
that?
ahead, Clinton.
No, I just want to say that I had a conversation with the BP about it. It's can't be done. It's too long to be done during board meeting. So, like Tony said, they're going to do training, but it can't be one or two people logging on from community boards. Everyone needs to log on. Everyone that needs training needs to log on. People need to have refresher training. They need to log on. So that's the problem. That's why they haven't had it, because they said it's the same two or three people every time. So we all would have to most of us then probably need to all log. We probably all need to log on, but most of us definitely need to log on to get the training and the refresher. You can continue, Etonia. I just want to say that.
Oh, absolutely correct. Right. I've been a part of many boards, and I love to take different trainings because it keeps you literally refreshed in how to do things until it becomes almost like riding a bicycle, it just becomes natural. Now, what also came from that conversation was the need to adjust our bylaws. So I went through our bylaws. They're not that in depth. It's not necessarily like a dictionary's worth of pages to peruse, but in terms of the language, it doesn't necessarily flow, right? In terms of our understanding. And there's little intricacies in there, such as grammatical errors and a bunch of stuff. And that just doesn't look good from a professional level. Is that we're the community board. We're here to literally represent the community. We are pretty much the first stop in between your elected officials are representing you. And how can we represent you if on paper we don't look professional, right? Because then that leads to misunderstandings or misconstruations of how we actually run things. So the main thing that we thought would be a great idea, and I'm not going to take all the credit for this because this was a collective effort. This was the thought process from Luke, several of the board members, but especially Bobby Link. Bobby Link pushed forward hard about how we need to go over our bylaws and how the bylaws committee shouldn't just be a subcommittee or a committee that only arises when needed. We should have a governance committee that happens year round that can look over our bylaws as well as act as standard parliamentarians like Carl. Carl's a wonderful person. I'm talking about Carl Stricker, not Carl Hasty, even though he's a very nice person as well. But I'm talking about our Carl Stricker, who stands as our parliamentarian. It would be awesome if he could help lead a committee where we would then know how to govern our own selves. So that's basically what I'm putting forward. I'm just asking for a motion for us to create another committee, but this committee, because we're already overextended, everyone here understands that if you are a community board member, you have to be part of a committee. So that means you are committed to at least 2 meetings every month. The general meeting, which we're in right now, and the committee meeting in which you need to attend. If you're not sure which committee you belong to, just simply ask. There's no stupid question except the question that doesn't get asked. So if you're not sure what committee you belong to or what time your committee meets, just simply ask. If you don't want to ask right now because we in public, that's fine. We all have text, we all have email. Just reach out to Ursula, George, Clinton, John, and myself so we can get you on board. But the main thing is that we need to have a bylaws committee or a governance committee that works in tandem with us throughout the year. So my suggestion is that instead of making it a whole new committee where now people will have to commit themselves to a 3rd meeting, we make it a subcommittee like our social media committee that's a part of education. So that way they can meet with us, meet during the executive board meeting to keep us up to date on how we need to do things and make changes if necessary.
That sounds good.
I have a question.
Go for it, Denise.
Who the members will be on this subcommittee? Have you chosen already, or can people volunteer right now?
People can
I
volunteer
like to
right
commit
now.
myself to that subcommittee and also make a motion that we accept that,
Awesome.
that we accept the subcommittee for bylaws, parliamentary.
It's been properly moved. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any
Carlton
any
Berkeley.
unreadiness?
Carlton Berkeley
John,
seconds the
John,
motion.
hold on 1 minute, John. In the conversations with the borough president's office, it came up that we should have a standing bylaws committee.
Right. That
That's
works too.
We should have a
Clinton, could
standing.
you just explain for everybody what will be the difference between a standing committee and a subcommittee, so everybody's just clear, like what the differentiation is?
Well, I mean, it'll just be a bylaws committee that we always have. It's not a subcommittee; it's its own committee.
Can I? We have a standing bylaws committee. Only meets when bylaws need to be changed. So
But
maybe we can make this a regular meeting, but we have a bylaws committee.
Isn't it ad hoc though?
Yes, it is, but you can make it permanent.
Right.
Okay, so then
Okay,
could we amend the motion that
I guess
Denise
that was
made
the
to just make it?
Hold on.
Sorry,
Hold on.
go ahead.
That was a direction to me from the borough president's office. So to make it a permanent committee.
Can I make a? So I agree with Clinton on because I think we read the bylaws and our bylaws are a little bit not convoluted but extra specific to a degree that's maybe unnecessary and maybe points to the fact that we need to change the bylaws, but it says that the bylaws committee dissolves itself after a certain period of time. So we need
Correct.
to create it. And Clinton at the last executive committee, he made the motion and we voted on it to create it, and we're hopefully going to adopt it tonight. But we have to create this bylaws committee every single time we want to change the bylaws, and hopefully in this changing process we can make it a little easier to go through this whole process.
I'm sorry, there was already a motion put on the floor. It should have been either second or just dissolved. Because we're speaking in between. Once there's a motion on the floor, it has to go through. I mean, I don't understand what we're doing right now.
So basically, we're just amending the motion for clarity. So instead of for the subcommittee, we're going for a standing committee for the bylaws committee, making sure that is something that can be utilized throughout the year as opposed to when quote unquote it's necessary.
Permanently.
That sounds good.
Okay. So the motion was made, right?
Yep, the motion was made and properly seconded. So now we're going to throw it back to the floor. Does everybody accept the amendment to the motion?
Yes.
I do accept the amendment.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right,
I
perfect. Y'all want to vote via roll call? How do you want to do this, Clinton?
We don't have. It doesn't have to be the roll call because is George still not on?
Can we do voice vote?
Yeah, we can do the.
Clinton,
If you're making an amendment, shouldn't it be roll call and not an anonymous vote?
I sent it to you, Clinton. I sent
Yes
you
or
the
no? I'm just asking.
No,
think it was a
Karen,
friendly
it doesn't
amendment.
need to, that process isn't applicable to this.
Actually, you don't need
Okay.
to make a roll call. You can do a general vote as your parliamentarian.
Right. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you, parliamentarian. So
All right.
we're gonna do a voice vote then.
Okay.
Yes,
May I hear the
that would be
ayes?
good.
Aye.
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 Are there any
Aye.
nays?
Aye.
Are there
I only
any
heard-
nays? Any abstentions? All right, Carl, you want to do the proverbial hammer? We're good to go?
I'm good to go.
All right, the motion passes.
Good. Congratulations. We have a bylaws committee, a
Awesome.
permanent one.
Awesome. Clinton, can I add something real quick?
Go for it.
Being that we just made the bylaws committee, I want to advocate for all of the new board members that are coming. So when I first started the community board, nobody gave me a bylaw. Nobody gave me an orientation on anything that happened. Being that new board members are coming and we're going to be revising the bylaws, I feel like we should be able to have some type of orientation so that everybody is acclimated to what they're doing. I came in and had no clue about what was going on, who was who. It was really over time that I kind of got the gist of what was going on. So I just want to advocate for our new members that are coming in so that they have the information and that they are equipped to do what they need to do and do it the right way. I came in and I felt like I was a deer in the headlights. I didn't know like who was the head of what committee, who was the chairperson, who was the vice, the first, the this. Nobody really explains these things to you. And yes, I get it that you should be coming to board meetings, and I'm well aware of that. But what if you still don't understand it even coming to a board meeting, or even how a community board meeting is ran? Like the first part is this, and then we talk about this. So I just want to be the advocate that I am as a social worker and advocate for our new board members that are potentially coming in so that they don't come in and feel overwhelmed and then be like, well, what am I supposed to be doing here? So that's all I just wanted to say.
Advocate.
Can I say
Advocate.
something?
Advocate.
The borough, the borough president has orientation for all new board members. I don't know how you missed it, but they go over everything that impacts the board and what you should look for and stuff like that. I don't know if
Okay,
you
Not
made the
sufficient
orientation.
though.
Carl,
But it's
let
not
me just
sufficient.
stop
No,
you real
one at
quick.
a time. One at a time. One at a time. One at a time. Go ahead.
Carl, it's not sufficient. Carl, when you're sitting there in that August swearing, and just let me finish my sentence. When you're sitting in that swearing in, it's a lot of information being thrown at you in like 2 hours. I'm gonna be honest, statistics say after 35 minutes, you're no longer paying attention. So if we're gonna do something, we need to do it from our district, because every district runs different. We need to come together in our community board and our district and have a conversation about what we do. So that's just all I'm saying, is because of my personal experience and how I came in. I only understand things now because I made it my business to do so. Everybody doesn't necessarily do that, but I still feel like we should give people the tools to succeed. So that's my advocation for today.
I appreciate that.
I agree.
I appreciate that. And you know something? Maybe when the new board members come on the next group, we can have orientation at the board, explaining to everybody what the board does, what we look for, what committees you can join, and so forth.
Absolutely.
We'll
Come on,
have
you
our
had
own orientation.
Come on, you were saying something? Somebody else was saying something?
Yeah, but I think Dominique echoed what I wanted to say. It's just not sufficient. And simple contact information where people are reachable on the board for questions for members. We have to be a lot more vigilant. Like I've had to ask Dominique people's contact, and it's, you know, it's appropriate for us to be able to reach out to each other for questions and to be able to ask questions when you're new to the board.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree with everything that was said too. I also wanted to say, give some positive feedback and say that I was thoroughly pleased when Tolene reached out. So she randomly called. I think that that's a great way to welcome new board members in. She did give
Yes.
contact information and clarity on a few things with the phone call. So I appreciated that.
She's the one woman welcoming committee. I've hired her as
Yes, Charlene, thank you. Yes, it's been delightful to have, you know, a welcome from you.
She works for Clinton. Yes.
Let me tell you, Tolene's the queen of the board.
Yes.
Shout out
Look at all
Tolene.
them hands and hearts.
Yes, love her.
Thank you,
And she's
Tolene.
very supportive always.
Thank you,
Tolene.
Tolene.
Thank you, Tolene. Moving on. Okay, so next.
You're welcome.
Next,
I love y'all.
next in new business, Dominique again. Dominique has brought up a community resource fair. So you're going to speak about it, Dominique.
Okay.
The floor is yours,
you.
Dr. Finn. Sorry.
It's just Dominique today. Thanks. Dr. Finn is tired. So it's true, I am tired. But so I had this really cool idea about getting a lot of different community resources together. So I feel like in our district we have a lot of high rates of like rent and like housing instability, food insecurity is another big thing that we talk about in the district. A lot of like maternal and mental health disparities, as well as like we know that there's not a lot of mental health services in our district. And then, we're always thinking about things for the youth. So I figured that we could have a little community resource fair at the board. So what I was thinking is that we could get a Google Docs going and get people on board to kind of sign up to come vendor. And then we could have tabling of different resources so that people can come out. I know that the Bronx Collab has a lot of great people that we can also kind of partner with to see if they can come and like have different conversations. I feel like it would be really good to have people come to the board. They get to show their business and it's a win-win. We get resources for people and people get to show off their business. That is my idea. I would love for this to happen potentially in the end of May or beginning of June.
And you're going to plan it?
Sure. Why not? Sure. Why not? If people can help me, that would be really nice.
No.
But
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah. So that's my thoughts.
I'll help you with that.
See, look at that, Dr. Sherry. See?
Yes, I'll help you with that.
Okay.
You'll get some more help too.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So,
definitely, Dominique.
Thank you. So if I could, can I make a motion so that we can have a community resource fair at the board?
Yes, I'd rather we do that than a legislative breakfast.
We still need to talk to the elected officials too.
It's open there.
Yeah. We can have both.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can do
thank you,
both.
Carl. We could definitely do
One has
both.
nothing to do with the other. One has nothing to do with the other.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
something different.
Right. Something totally different. So, did anybody second the motion? Oh,
I would like to second the motion.
no.
Thank you.
Who else did we have?
The chair,
Yes,
can you hear me?
Goff. Yes, we hear you.
Okay, Johnny Goff.
Can we finish this?
to-
Can we finish this motion first? And
Sure.
Okay. So who was first and second? Do we have anyone?
Right. So
I
Dr.
gave the
Dominique
motion.
did, she made the motion and I seconded.
Okay. So we good? Okay.
Sounds good.
So we have to take a vote, right?
Yeah, you can take a general vote.
Yes, sir.
Okay. General vote. So explain the motion, Dominique, and then we'll take the vote.
Okay, so my motion is to have a community resource fair for our district at the community board in either the end of May or beginning of June.
Okay. So that's the vote. That's what we're putting to the vote, and we're gonna take a general vote. So everyone in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Dr. Finn, I think that's a great idea. You have a few social workers on the board, so I think we'll help as well.
Any abstentions? Abstentions? Nays? Vote passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have one more item. It's our new board members. These great ideas. We discussed having a community board night out. I think we tried this in the past, but we're going to try it again when it gets warmer. When it gets warmer, a community board night out, something for us all to get together and get to know each other better. So I don't know if anybody saw my interview that Alpha did with me on the Instagram, and he asked me, I believe, what is my favorite spot in the district, and I said Triple Deuce. So we would like to have a community board night out at Triple Deuce. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I just think it's something that we probably need to get together to get to know each other a little more. I know everybody won't be able to make it, but we can try get as many of us together as possible. But hold on, I'm sorry, Ms. Goff, I forgot about it. Sorry, you can go ahead, and I'm sorry. Before we get, we're gonna go
Mr.
back.
Chair, I was just listening to. Sounds like a great idea. However, I know we won't be in session for the next meeting before March 5th, which is Women History Month. And I would like to express this to the board members through discussing with some of the board members and NAACP chair and some of the people from National Council Negro, women from both Co-op City and North Bronx. 169 is an elementary school on Baychester and Boston Road across from KFC. That school ribbon was cut many years ago and was named after a very active, I respect, Willie P. Bowman. I learned a lot from her, and I'm certainly many more of us did too. Now, for whatever reason, that school is being called Baychester Academy. Now, when I brought this, hello?
No, I said boo.
Okay.
Go ahead, Johnny.
When I brought this up to many of the elected officials, especially to our speaker, who allocated money to build the school, Willie P. Bowman, Rosa Park, and the Altuve campus. None of these schools are being recognized by the name the community gave them. So I approached the principal and the superintendent about it. I received letters from an administrator who once worked in our former senator's office and the bio of Willie P. Bowman. The children of 169 need to recognize and know the school that they're attending. After meeting with the principal, Ms. Gardner, she inflicted a comment which I didn't approve of, so I took it to the district. Here's the deal. 169, the letter that I received state 169, which they call Baychester Academy, is housed in the Willie P. Bowman campus. When I cut the ribbon 15 years ago, the name is written on the wall.
Lena, you gotta start getting ready for bed.
If you look on the side of the wall, going into the school on the ramp side, you see Willie P. Bowman campus. When I approached Carl, the speaker, about it, he was shocked that the children don't know what school they're attending. And I don't know how they got Baychester Academy. But anyway, on the 5th of March, we got approved to have a meeting, not a meeting, like a gathering at the school. And to make it academic for the children, I asked the principal to have a 5th grade class before they graduate, give a copy, which I did, of Willie P. Bowman bio so the children could research it and write an essay. Okay, and the school will actually post it. I will bring all the art, I do an art project every year, to the board or either the Y or to Eastwood, whichever room is large enough to hold all these art materials. Again, on March 5th, in the evening, 5:30, we are going to be asking, especially board members, to try to attend the 169, the Willie B. Bowman campus, to be recognized for Women History Month. We'll have a little refreshment, and we'll display the children work with, and let the parents know that they have the key to get in our school, but we should have the lock to lock it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you get that information to Ursula so she can send it
I
out?
will. Yes, I sent it to Ursula, and I will send it to you, Chair.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
Johnny, is the
I'm
school
listening.
going to be renamed?
The
Is the
school is
school
school,
going to
we
be
want
renamed in its proper name?
It's not
the
unnamed.
name is on the building.
Not
We
unnamed.
want the school to recognize it by saying the Willie P. Bowman campus. Let me give you a sample. 78 is called the Ann Hutchinson School. 111 is called the Seton Falls School.
Right.
Matilda at 483 is called the Matilda School. In front of Maestro, the school where those 3 fireperson died is called Van Ness School, and they respect that. Why can't they respect our school, the Willie P. Bowman campus, and the Rosa Parks School,
Yes,
189 on
exactly.
Steinway?
It's just it's not
Okay.
the school is not unnamed. It's just that they're calling it something else.
Yeah, I
Right?
know.
Okay. So
Thank
you. But like I said, just get the information to Ursula so they can send it
I
out.
will, Chair.
Thank you. So back to community board night out. Can I get a Dr. Finn, you have something to say? You look like you were leaning in.
I don't know, I'm on fire today. I guess the sleepiness is just, I was one of the, whatever. Anyways, what I was saying is I was one of the people who spoke to Clinton about having a night out, because I feel like there's not a lot of events that actually like unite us as a community board, and I feel like it's important. There's some people on the board that I've never really spoken to, and they're like I would love to talk to. Sometimes it's just not the right opportunity for me to talk to you. So I feel like a night out would be like a really great way to get everybody together, whoever can show up. So
you're gonna make the motion?
Yeah, I want to make a motion for the community board to have a night out.
Well, who's treating
I
it?
second it.
I second it.
Great idea.
Who's the name? Who's seconding? We got
Sherry was the one that seconded.
okay.
A good idea. A good idea. Let's just get a couple of places that people could decide instead of just one place.
Someplace in our community board.
Yeah. No, triple deuce
Can we
could be
finish
definitely
voting
one.
and then think about the logistics
Right.
afterwards?
Mhm.
Please.
So we take a voice vote. Let's go. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any nays?
Aye.
Abstentions? Thank you. The vote passes. Okay, and I believe that is the end of our community board for this evening.
Amen.
No.
Hold on. What happened?
I know there was nothing, I don't know much for, because I had to jump off and on for community board 3, for committee 3. Besides the fact that February is Healthy Heart Month, I also want to put somewhere on our website or YouTube hands-free CPR to be noted on our site as a life-saving event, whether it's Heart Month, whether it's any kind of month that's going on. I think it's a skill that should be placed on, that if somebody needs to know some kind of life-saving skills, that one of the not hands-free, hands only, excuse me, CPR. There's many videos, and I think that video should be placed on our website.
I think we should speak with Alpha and talk with him, and maybe we can do like a short skit or something, and he can post it up on Instagram.
I'm not clear if that's something that can go on the website. George,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We can't do.
Why not?
No, I'm saying I'm not clear. I didn't say no. I said I'm not clear.
Oh, I think we can make
That's
our
the question,
website
sure.
whatever if it meets
That
the
may be the
internet
case.
guidelines.
That may be the case, but we have to find out because that's a New York City website.
Yeah,
So we have.
no, our Instagram. I
No,
think
no,
our
no, no.
Instagram.
We
Our
okay,
Instagram would be
maybe not
better.
the website, but
You said
maybe our
website. That's
internet.
why I'm confusing the website with the Instagram. Instagram is fine.
Yeah, Instagram is
Okay.
better. Yeah, the Instagram. We can do an informational, something informational on
Right.
the
That's
Instagram.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You said website, so
Yeah.
that's why I
hmm
said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the website we can't
No,
touch
but
that.
if you look at other community board sites, it's some of them are broken up into health and wellness, mental health, whatever. I think we're setting limitations because we don't know the internet guidelines. Our internet website does not have to be just the meetings.
We
I
have to
think
find.
yeah.
You
I
know,
I
think
you
can't.
just
people
have
will
to look
reach
at
more
how you
people with
market it and
Instagram.
do what we have to do. And I think that's something that we have to look into. You know, if you want to market what we're doing, it's just not Instagram, because the major complaint I have about our website is that it's boring, to make it lack
Okay.
of another word. But you know, people want information besides just the link to go to YouTube. And if we're not able to entice the community, we're not going to get them to come on the website.
And I don't have a problem with anything that you're saying. I'm saying we just have to
Okay.
know that we can. I have no problem
Right.
with anything.
Clinton,
None
may I
whatsoever.
answer really quickly?
Sure.
The short answer is yes, we can. In terms of Bob the Builder, yes, we can. In terms of our guidelines of the social media, there is nothing on there that prohibits us from doing this. We do have to give it to the to the Borough President's office for approval first. So basically, you can't post first. That's where the distinction is at. You have to get approval first. That's what we have to do.
So wait a minute, Etonia. When we post when we post our and record our meetings, they're
Mm-hmm.
not being pre-recorded and sent to the borough president office. So let's make that clear. So what are you saying?
Well, you're not asking about our
Not board.
meetings. You're asking about the heart awareness thing, like making our webpage or basically our media presence more than just our minutes. That's basically what you're asking, correct?
Yes, that's what I heard.
Yes. Yeah.
So you
Okay.
want to
Yes.
add to it.
Right.
So you
Yes.
And
need
the answer
approval.
is yes, we can do that. However, we have to actually put it together in a proposal, the things that we're going to put forward, and that has to be approved by the Borough President's office. That's where the guidelines for our social media rules falls into play, where they're like, look, you can't be advertising for a business or anything else, nothing of that nature. And of course, it can't be anything derogatory or anything like that. It just has to be approved first.
Okay.
Talia, you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. I just wanted to say this really quickly. I had mentioned this
Really,
to a
really
few.
quickly. Really quickly. Love you.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I had mentioned this to a few people that we need to do something regarding our elders, something to help our elders and our seniors. Whether it's something quick with talking to them about scams and about different things that's going on, how to get online, how to join us in meetings, any questions that they might have, but something like that just for the elders. I've looked at all the other boards. They all have something to do for the elders and the seniors. That
Okay.
was quick.
All right. Start working on it. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay. So I guess that's it. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Sorry, Clinton. Our
Second,
last
first,
thing. This is only our last thing, and then we're out of here.
9:55.
John first.
All right, Clinton, we have to still vote on the naming of our committees, then we can go. And it could be a voice vote. And keep in mind, folks, you do not have to be anchored to the name of these committees, but we have to give these committees a name.
Go back to the old name.
Right. So remember, we consolidated our committees 2 years back. All right. So now we have 3 committees. That's committee 1, committee 2, and committee 3. During the executive board meeting, we put forward very standard names to cover committee 1, committee 2, and committee 3. We are going to now vote on it all together. So for example, which one was municipal or municipalities?
That's me, committee 1.
Right? Which one was culture and education?
Education and
Right.
library.
Committee 3.
And libraries.
That was
Right.
committee 3.
It would have to be 3.
Committee 3.
Right. And the last one was environmental and parks and safety. Right. Can we
That's
just call
2.
that safety or just environment?
What was it? What was you said? Environmental, parks, and safety.
Yep. So that's our committee.
Not safety, environment.
Environment. All right. So now remember, we're not anchored to this. We can literally come back next month and change the names, but we need to at least outline it now. So that way, when we go on the website, people
Come here.
know what
Come
these
here.
committees entail.
Come here.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So all I'm doing is putting forward the motion to rename the committees based off of the names that were proposed at the executive board meeting.
And the
Right?
name,
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
we're not tied to these names
We are not tied to these names.
right now. We can
Not right now.
Just want to make that. I just want to make that clear. Somebody making a motion? You made the motion? The motion was made?
I'd like to
No.
make a motion that we change the committee's names as is, as Antonia put it.
All right.
Thank you, Denise.
I second.
All right. And seconded by Dr. Finn.
Thank you, Dr. Finn. Voice vote.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any abstentions? Any nays? Vote passes. So now, are we done?
Yes, sir. Now we are done with our business for the month of February.
Not yet.
Sorry.
Not
Go
yet.
ahead, Alfredo.
Go Bills.
Okay, anyway, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. We had a quorum tonight, virtually. I thank you all for coming. We got to be seen out more in the community. Everyone have a safe, stay warm. And Denise, you raising your hand? Wait.
I'd like to make a motion to close this meeting.
Okay, let's go.
Yes.
Second.
I just had to show some
Universal
love
seconds.
first. I just want to show some love first. That's all.
Stop monologuing. Let's go.
I know it's 10 o'clock. I'm ready to go too, but I just had to show love first before I end the meeting. Okay? Did somebody second her motion?
Second.
Second.
Third.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh,
Right.
eighth.
Good night.
Thank you, Denise.
Night.
Thank you.
Aye.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Happy Black History Month. Stay
Bye,
safe.
everybody.
Stay
Happy,
warm.
everybody. Have a good night.
Meeting ends at